To call this Commissioner Court's meeting to order, and at this time ask for the invocation, and then please continue standing as we will follow with the Pledge of Allegiance to both the United States of America and Texas flags, and I'd like to ask Commissioner Joe A. Gonzalez to lead us in the pledge. But first, please welcome Pastor Steve Coronado from Solid Rock Worship Church.
He'll say the pledge. He'll say the prayer.
And if he would please, do the invocation for us.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. It's a new season. It's a new day. It's a new year. And congratulations to you, Judge, and to newly elected commissioners and all of you for your reelection. But let's pray in this new season, this new year, and new day. Lord God, we are grateful and thankful for your grace and blessings and the power that you give us, the love that you give us to do what we're called to do. Thank you that every one of these people on the Commissioner's Court, Lord, you have placed them there for a purpose and for this new season, for this new day, for this new year. And so we thank you that by your grace and power, you will enable them to serve this community with wisdom, with power, and with grace. I pray that you give them plans that are they're given by you, that they'll and give them diligence, give them strength that they need for this coming season, especially for today, Lord. We thank you that you are ordering their steps. Give them wisdom, give them grace as we rely and humble ourselves before you, understanding that, God, they have been elected here to serve and to love. And I pray that you unify them and that they be in one purpose and one vision to work together. And so we thank you and give you all the glory and all the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. If you'll be seated. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Commissioner Gonzalez. At this time, I'll call roll and then note for the record date, time, location, all of the housekeeping orders. Commissioner Brent Chesney.
Here.
Commissioner Joe A. Gonzalez. Commissioner John Mattis.
Here.
Commissioner Carolyn Vaughn.
Here.
Okay. As we all know, we are on the third floor. Actually, the time... County Clerk, I'm going to call it at, depends on which clock. Let's call it 9:05, but I believe we did start around 9:02, and we are on the third floor of 901 Leopard, the county courthouse, and I've certified that a quorum is present. That's all the information you need, correct? Okay, Tyner. Good morning, Tyner.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Last week, at the request of Commissioner Mattis, I started working with Todd Hunter's office, and there are some people here interested in this resolution. I know Brad Lomax is here. They may want to come step forward when I read this for the court.
Absolutely, that would be very appropriate.
Sure. And I'm going to read this, and I suppose we can talk about it. And then we'll introduce
So are you saying Brad Lomax supports oysters? That's not, you know.
I thought we eat them.
Yes, right.
We support them and then we eat them.
This is in support of legislation enhancing oyster mariculture in Texas coastal waters. Whereas new economic opportunities can be realized by developing our state's coastal resources by allowing oyster reefs to rebuild and perform their natural enviro-friendly functions of water filtration, shoreline protection, and providing habitat for coastal marine life and sport fish. Whereas opportunities exist for sustainable oyster supplies due to the abundant acreage for oyster growth that is geographically dispersed along the Texas coast. Whereas legislation is needed to ensure a truly sustainable oyster fishery consisting of existing privately leased areas, managed wild reef harvest, and thriving mariculture segments producing millions of pounds of oysters annually. Whereas legislation will ensure a more consistent, stable, and year-round supply of high-quality Texas oysters produced under strict quality guidelines by trained and certified growers, whereas opportunities exist to balance the interest of commercial oyster producers, recreational fishermen, tourist conservation groups, and state agencies as the oyster industry develops along the Texas coast. Now therefore be it resolved that the Nueces County Commissioners Court hereby supports legislation that enhances oyster mariculture in Texas coastal waters further, and in particular, such legislation authored by Representative Todd Hunter for the sustainability, economic expansion, and environmental stewardship of the oyster mariculture industry in Texas coastal waters.
That's fantastic. Of course, I would like to invite you to make any public comment that you would like, and then if you wouldn't mind, I have a few things that I'd like to offer.
Well, I would say one thing. My name's Joe Fox. I represent Hart Research Institute in Texas A&M University, and we've been working on this for 5 or 6 years now. And Texas is the only coastal state in the United States that does not have an oyster aquaculture industry. It's a $270 million industry in the rest of the United States. And so with the legislation that we're trying to pass, I think it'll make inroads into that. And we certainly hope it's successful, and I think it'll put Texas on the map.
That's great, and of course, we're so proud to have the Hart Institute here in Nueces County and all of the world-class research that it is responsible for today, tomorrow, and we hope forever. So we consider you also a treasure and an asset, but thank you for promoting this particular industry. And you may or may not be aware, but this court will have a legislative team in place very soon, and I would like to bring up with my fellow commissioners the idea that this needs to be a part of our legislative agenda, and that way we too can promote this industry that could be so impactful for our, well, we're selfish for our county.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate
you.
all that, and I'm sure everybody is going to benefit from this.
That's great. Please.
Got to bring this down a tiny tad. I'm just here representing Todd Hunter. He's 100% behind this. They're working very hard right now at the legislature trying to work on this bill, so please
Yes.
listen to what they're going to talk about here with the oyster aquifer. It's great for our economy. It's great for the education. It's great for the Gulf Coast, and it's very intensive, and we need all the support we can get.
Thank you. Brad?
Morning, Commissioners and Judge. Joe Fox is a PhD. He won't tell you all his credentials, but PhD at Hart Research, and actually he was the one who we've been recycling our shells back into the bay systems for 10 years now. Water Street has 8 acres of reefs out in St. Charles Bay, and it's because of Joe that this all got started. Joe and Todd's office are visionaries. I am a capitalist pig, and very proud of that fact. And I'm just telling you all that we can sell this product. And as a matter of fact, I am selling it now, bringing it in from other states. And if you haven't been to some of the Gulf states in the southeast, go Charleston or Atlanta or Mobile or Tallahassee. There are menus. All restaurants are offering menus of oysters, and there's 5 or 6 or 8 varieties, and they talk about them like they're wines, because oysters take on the flavor of the particular environment. You all know all this, but. Seriously, a touch of cucumber and a hint of asparagus is the kind of, goodness gracious. So, but it's all happening every place but Texas, and I'm selling them, and I can sell them. I can sell Alabama products in our restaurants, but I don't want to sell Alabama products. I want to sell Copano Bay products, Corpus Christi Bay products, San Antonio Bay products. And so this legislation, which is way overdue, will give us the opportunity. Last thing I'll say is, for all the good stuff that oysters do for the environment, for game fish and filtering water, what's my point?
Well, all this is going to do is it's going to improve upon that, and we can capitalize upon all those ecosystem services we provide.
Yeah, that's what my point is. It's an economic development bill.
Right.
And so this is about creating jobs along the hard-hit areas of the coast. The people that you see owning and operating these little farms are in their 20s and 30s and 40s. You know, it's the farm-to-table movement.
Well, it's
I hope we get
fantastic.
your support. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and I'd love to open it up for a motion, please. And a second? And is there any discussion or comments from my fellow colleagues here?
I'm very supportive. I think it's long overdue.
Thank you.
Tell,
So hearing,
tell State Representative Hunter that we're right behind him. You better move fast.
Who?
Todd.
Oh,
Todd. No, I think you have the, well, let's find out. May I have a vote, please? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor
Aye.
signify by saying aye, and those opposed, same sign. Aye. So I just want to say, for over 35 years, we've enjoyed the beautiful, Water Street Plaza, the Water Street system, and you've always been on the forefront of taking care of our environment and being a capitalist, and there's nothing wrong with both of those things. And so we are grateful to you for your leadership, and to be honest with you, since the days of the Karankawa, they've been eating oysters. We love oysters, or if you say oyster, it doesn't matter. I think this is part of our broad and diverse mission that this court, this particular judge really wants to see happen. And so I'm really 100% behind you, and please look for us in Representative Hunter's office to be at least an echo. So thank you so much. And we actually will be giving you this resolution. Is that correct, Tyner? I'll be signing it soon.
First coastal county in the state.
That's what we want to be. We want to be the first at everything here. So thank you. Thank you again. At this time, Tyner, will you continue with the certificates of recognition? We have a very special certificate this morning.
I will say, Judge, Barbara Smith could not be here.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Probably because she's working. And
Okay.
I just want to convey that Kevin Kieschnick was so proud of this individual's efforts to come in out of retirement to keep the Port Aransas office open. And we've already posted that position. I don't know if it's filled yet, but Barbara stays on until the 8th of February and will be replaced, and we'll be able to keep that office open.
That's wonderful. At this time, Tyner, would you like, I still want the court to acknowledge and recognize the appreciation that Nueces County has for Barbara H. Smith, who is with the Tax Assessor Collector's Office in the substation of Port Aransas.
Judge, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to add comments. We have actually, this is the second time we've recognized Barbara in her retirement again, because when she retired the first time, Kevin and I did a very nice presentation the court passed something, and we did a nice presentation at her retirement party, but she really, really did bail us out, because as many people know, Port Aransas hadn't had their tax office open. The hurricane knocked it down. We got someone back out there, and then that person left and actually went to work for the city of Port Aransas, which, life goes on, right? But Barbara really bailed us out because those people had been without, and we certainly want to make sure we can always collect our taxes here in Nueces County, and Barbara helped us do that in that area, and she really is a super, super lady, and I am sorry she isn't here today to be recognized by the entire court, but she's very much appreciated by all the folks in Port Aransas and all of Nueces County. So thank you very much, Judge, for the opportunity to mention that.
And we do have a nice certificate
Thank
for her. Tax office will be picking it up this afternoon.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Well, the good thing, she may be back.
Okay. All right. With that, who can bring forth the public comment register? Bailiff, would you mind bringing that forward so I can recognize anybody who has, I'll tell you what I'm really enjoying is being a new county judge. I'm a member of this email group called Listserv, and all the county judges, all 254 of us, get to comment back and forth. And there was a tremendous amount of comment this past weekend about public comment. And I just want to go on the record to say I think it's a wonderful opportunity for the constituents of Nueces County to be able to come into our courtroom, and this is your courtroom and your court, and to be able to make comments. There are rules and regulations, and we've actually posted them, and they should be online, and we always encourage people to know what the rules are, but you will always have a platform here for public comment. There was sort of some question in some counties as to whether they could limit them, so that was interesting. So all I have is one person, and Reverend Carrington, are you here? Yes, sir, you are. Adam Carrington, would please come forward.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Adam Carrington. I live at 2949 Riverbend Court. I am also the very proud pastor of Brooks AME Worship Center, located in the Hillcrest community. I'm here today to express my concern over the decision made by this court to allow the celebration of Civil Rights Day versus MLK Day, which is a federal holiday approved by former President Ronald Reagan in 1983. A sign that was posted at your motor vehicle department recognizing Civil Rights Day with no mention of MLK is the reason that I'm here, again, which is a federal holiday observed on the third Monday of January. My concern is that we do a great disservice to MLK by removing his name from his federal holiday and all the work he has done paving the way for many Americans, especially people of color. It was because of Dr. King and his leadership that allows me to have the right to vote, to partake in public transportation, to get a good quality education, and to stand here today before you all. It is also because of Dr. King and his efforts that many of you are in the positions that you are in today. So I'm asking that the court to recognize MLK Day and not Civil Rights Day. I do, however, understand that there are many civil rights activists who have done phenomenal work and should be recognized, but the third Monday of January is a holiday recognizing MLK, his work and his legacy. It seems to always be controversy on MLK Day. So again, I'm here today to ask that the court would recognize MLK Day. There's never any mention of removing Columbus from Columbus Day and changing it to Eminent Domain Day. So thank you very much for your time.
Tyner?
Yeah, Judge, I'll comment on this. Historically, a number of years ago, I don't know the exact date, there was a move by certain members of the public to have other holidays, including Hector P. Garcia holiday, Cesar Chavez Day as well. It's very expensive for the county to add additional holidays. At one point in time, many years ago, the number was to have a holiday, it cost the county about $90,000, basically in employee pay. I was not prepared for this today. We can do some work on it, but I don't know if we're asking for a new holiday, but what the remedy of the court back then when there was a lot of pressure to have other holidays, somebody came up with the idea to call it a civil rights holiday, and it was approved by the court. And we've done it ever since then.
Okay. As you know, Reverend Carrington, just like in other public comments where I've had the pleasure of listening to you before in other forums, we do not respond officially here as a group. I'm responding to Tyner. Yeah, I would like very much for us to have you bring that back to this court for further discussion. As you know, Tyner, I was downstairs for the Martin Luther King celebration and commemorative march, and it was lost upon me that we were not fully recognizing Martin Luther King Day, and it is my wish, and it is only right and just. It is a federal holiday. It should bear his name. So I'll let you bring that back to us.
Yes, Judge.
We are now at the point of the consent agenda, and I would ask all commissioners to look those over and ask if there are any to be removed at this time. And they ran from A through O this time, A through O. If you'll take just a moment to review, and if there's any that would like to be pulled aside? If not, I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, is there any comment? Let me get a second first.
Second.
Okay. Are there any comments to be received by the public on A through O at this time? A through O. Any discussion? The only thing I wanted to discuss is really just a comment on N, number N. That is the recognition that this court supports the South Texas Military Task Force. I sit on that military task force. It was brought to my attention this week that Congressman Vela is a newly named member of the very important Armed Services Committee with 3 military installations focused here and located here in Nueces County, United States Coast Guard, Naval Air Station Corpus Christi, and Corpus Christi Army Depot. I think it is very important that this court understand the importance of these military installations to our community, to our economy, to our workforce. And it is a lot of money, and it's a lot. I want it to be noted that it's sacrifice for this court, but it's an important one to make, and I'm really in support of the efforts that are made by the task force to go to Washington, and in particularly to advocate and say thank you for the for these bases to continue to operate here in the county. It's very rare, by the way, to have 3, the size of our county, have 3 strong military installations. Very, very important. Does anybody else have anything else before we take a vote? In that case, having a motion and a second by, just for Ms. Sands.
So will we,
It was were you the second, Commissioner? Okay, and then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and opposed, same sign. Thank you. Moving on to the regular agenda, item number 1 is a annual report on the 2018 activities. I recognize Miss Anita Eisenhower from the Nueces County Historical Commission. So good to have you here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is always a pleasure to get to come and share the activities of Nueces County Historical Commission. And I hope you will just put that piece of paper that's been placed in your hands aside, and I'm going to go over primarily what's in it. And as being an old teacher, I don't want you to read while I read.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Anyway, it's wonderful to be able to say thank you to each of you for the support that you have given throughout the year to the Historical Commission, and also to your staff that helps us with the Public Works Department, with Annette and Mr. Sullivan, and the gentlemen that help us carry things in and out when necessary. We could not do it without them, so we applaud their efforts and your support of them also. So beginning, let's go. We're required to give this report annually to you, stating what we have done throughout the year. We had an annual review of the certified local government in my home after I broke my leg last January, and the lady was very gracious and said we met all of the qualifications needed to be a certified local government. We do a report for THC and CLG annually. They are due in February. Note that we had 12 meetings throughout the year, and our attendance runs between 80 and 90%. And I think that's very high for a group that is amounting to around 20 members. Note, please, that we have 5 PhD historians on the commission, and we have an archaeologist and a restoration architect, which are required, some of those things for CLG to be able to do that. We submitted several narratives for Texas Historical Markers, being Margaret Mary Healy Murphy, that's a mouthful, Matt Nolan, Restland Cemetery in Bishop, and Delmar College. A most unusual occurrence happened this last year. We've never had this before. Delmar College failed to pay for their marker. They had said, we want to pay for it. It was embarrassing to Dr. Robbins to have to tell his students that Del Mar had not paid for this. And Dr. Escamilla, the president of Del Mar, had egg on his face. It was not him that this occurred, but it was the financial staff that erred. Even the Texas Historical Commission Commissioner, Monica Burdett, called me and said, "What happened?" One marker also was not accepted, the vegetables and produce sheds of Robstown. It has been resubmitted. 2019 Texas Historical Marker narrative submitted to THC were Del Mar College, James Downing, and Robstown vegetable growing and railroad history. A marker application was submitted in May for the undertold story for the Black Longshoremen's Union. It was chosen. This means the Texas Historical Commission pays for the casting of the marker, and that's about $1,800. And we say thank you. And we try to do that annually to take advantage of this program, and so far we've been successful for the last 3 years. Texas Historical Marker dedications were held for the following. Antonio Garcia, if you are not aware, is a very well-known muralist in Corpus Christi, painting mosaics and such in churches, and especially at La Bahia in Goliad. Now, also, we did the Centennial Museum, Richard King House, and William Maltby. The Texas Historical Markers damaged in Hurricane Harvey, we have still not had them upright again. We hope that they will be soon, and we may have to ask for your help if Mark Creighton can't get his friend to do this pro bono. And it's not a cheap operation to have aluminum welding done, but we're working on it. We did get the replacement into THC for the Aransas Pass CSA, and it is in progress. Markers ready for dedication are the 1966 Farm Labor March, John Bernard Murphy, Camp Scurry, and Jovita Gonzalez de Morelos. Difficulty with CCISD for the marker dedication of the Jovita Gonzalez de Morelos. Has the dedication stalled? There will be needed assistance from the county judge with the school superintendent to either have a dedication at Morelos Elementary or find another suitable location for the marker. And Judge, I don't know what's going on over in that office, but I'm not getting any answers. And we do want to proceed. And time is important to each of us who work on these items. I've already spoken with Carolyn Vaughn about this previously, and we just kind of held off, hoping things would mellow out whatever's occurring. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing. We co-sponsored Toast to Texas Independence Day, March 2nd, with the Clara Driscoll chapter of the Daughters of the Republic of Texas. This was the 32nd annual Toast to Texas held here in the Nueces County Courthouse. And I think that's an outstanding record for that to happen, and we're looking forward for the next one to occur out in Old Bayview Cemetery. We hope, Judge, that you will be present as well as the rest of the commissioners that day. Texas State Historical Association is meeting in Corpus Christi that week, and they are going to come and join us. And I think you will find something exciting this time. We will have livestock show queens bringing in the flags on horseback. We've never had that, of course, in the courthouse, but we will have it out at the cemetery. The commission changed the display cabinets adjacent to the office following Armistice Day, the 100th anniversary ending World War I. The Port Aransas Historical and Preservation Association has loaned the present exhibit about the Port Aransas jetties, and we will be changing that sometime in the summer to celebrate, not necessarily celebrate, but acknowledge the hurricane of 1919. So that's, 1919. The 9th annual Voices of South Texas was held November the 7th at Old Bayview Cemetery. An $1,100 Humanities Texas mini grant was received for the project. Approximately 800 people came, exceeding previous visitor numbers. This is the second year that a 501c3 organization of Corpus Christi with the City of Corpus Christi, the Corpus Christi Visitors Bureau, the Corpus Christi Public Library, and the Corpus Christi Museum of Science and History to produce a citywide event which was branded Frontera. There were approximately 30 reenactors of personage buried in Old Bayview Cemetery that day. Representative of genealogical organizations were present to answer questions. Wreaths were placed by DAR, DRT, UDC, UD 1812, Sons of the Confederacy, SAR, and SRT. Many were dressed in period and in military uniforms. The Veterans Band played. The Venture Boy Scout Troop brought a cannon, which was fired, rattling downtown office windows. Representatives from the Palo Alto battlefield were present. The event was sponsored by the NCHC, the Historical Society. And please note that Old Bayview Cemetery is the best classroom for telling Corpus Christi and Nueces County history, reminding you it is the oldest military cemetery west of the Mississippi. A special cemetery workshop was sponsored by the Texas Historical Commission and the National Park Service for protecting a cemetery during a disaster. That was a result of Hurricane Harvey, of course. 28 people were admitted to the workshop. A day was spent at the Corpus Christi Library in preparation for a hands-on cleaning of headstones, resetting, tilting, and down headstones, learning how to work with a tripod and hoist in resettling larger headstones. Twice a group of NAS chiefs came to the cemetery to clean and reset following that workshop. The cemetery has now cleaned all military-related headstones and resetting tilting or fallen headstones. The visitors at Voices of South Texas were amazed at what has happened. Over 42 headstones have been reset and cleaned. It is amazing the looks of how it appears to the public when they come. Visitors, we also received a grant of $15,000, which gave the Friends of Old Bayview Cemetery the money for a ground-penetrating radar of the 4 acres to know what is beneath the surface. The group has written a CLG grant application for preparing a nomination to the National Register of Historic Places. We have a proposal in hand to move towards a master plan for the cemetery. This is given the guidance of then hiring a landscape architect to draw up what to do to move forward as to what is needed for lighting, security, pathways, kiosks, signage, and ADA accessibility. Then a better understanding of how much money is needed to complete this project. Karen Howden of the NCHC has driven this project. And may I say, we give a lot of thanks to Carolyn when she was on the city council to get the city council totally behind us on this project. And we wouldn't have done that without her help. And we thank you, Carolyn. Okay, as to CLG, the CHC has participated in the Leathers Project mitigation, has been a consulting party for the Oaks, 19 individual lots scattered in Flower Bluff, an expansion of SH 286. These were performed in compliance with Section 106 of the National Historic Act review process and as a consulting party as identified in Regulation 36 CFR Part 800. A four-year review of the certified local government of the activities of the NCHE were performed by THC task member. The NCHE passed the review. 3 members of the commission, Anita Eisner, Karen Howden, and Penny Pelak, attended the 2018 Texas Historical Commission annual convention titled Real Places in Austin. The commission lost 2 fine members this last year, Guthrie Ford, Ph.D., living in Port Aransas, and Rex H. Jim Stever. Nueces County has been a supporter of Texas Tropical Trails. 2 visits were made to Nueces County, one in December in Corpus Christi and earlier in the summer in Robstown this year. Mike Carlisle and Penny Pelak are board members, and may I say, Nueces County has given monies to support Texas Tropical Trails. And I was at one yesterday in Alice, and we went through the courthouse there, and we saw an old map that was dated 1911 when Jim Wells County was created. It was quite interesting to see. And I don't know that we have a map that early, Judge, to put up here for Nueces County, but I think it's worth a search, see what we do have. The commission has a very active Facebook page, and note that we received the Distinguished Service Award for 2017, and this was presented in Commissioner's Court. And I always tell my commission, they are the best in Texas. And so we thank you for listening again this morning. And may I share with you, Judge, 3 of us attended the THC annual convention in Austin this last week. And I went to a session on, of course, courthouses. That's one of our very definite goals, is to have one restored here in Nueces County. But they have prepared a manual for counties to look at, to go through and identify problems or what their maintenance schedules are on a regular basis, to identify what has happened, as such as accessibility for ADA, maybe for here. It's entered into the record. It's something that can be gone back over and checked 20 years from now. When did this happen? Who did it? And how much money was involved in it? So I'm going to present you this notebook. There is one for each county. I can say this is a very expensive notebook that has been placed together. It's for the use of the county, and it's also going to be able to be downloaded from the website for THC for additions, changes, or whatever the county might want.
That's great. Thank you, Tyner. If you'll keep that.
And I brought you also a copy of the Authentic Texas, which is put out by the Tropical Trails of Texas. There are 10 trails. Only 8 participate in this, and I think the South Texas Tropical Trails is the very best. So I want to give you a copy of this and share with others.
Thank you.
And that concludes my presentation today. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions of us, we certainly want to hear from you. And again, we thank you for all of your assistance.
Judge, may I say something?
Absolutely.
I just want to commend your commission. A lot of people don't understand, but y'all work tirelessly. You really do. And if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't have the history we have. And if you have not been out to the Voices of South Texas, it is worth the trip. It's a great day of history. Every child in this county should be going to that every year. The school buses should be out there. But I thank you so much for what you do, because we would lose it if it weren't for y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Muy bueno.
Thank you.
And we're glad you're feeling better. It's been a long haul for you, I know, so we're glad to see you up and around.
Well, this happened immediately after this appearance last year on the 31st of January. Big surprise to find yourself on the ground and your foot wiggling like this. But anyway, I'm better, I'm upright, and it's only a long hike this morning to park out in the back 40. You all must have something really special going on today. I've never seen so many cars around this courthouse. But anyway, I'm sure that's a problem as well.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for such a great and thorough report. And I do want to make note that everyone should go downstairs and look at the display. And Commissioner Chesney, I've been wondering if you would ask Mayor Port Aransas Mayor Buhan if that is a relative of his that's pictured down there at the Port Aransas Jetties. It's a Buhan. I mean, the same name is.
He's a very long family.
Well, it must be must be his kin. And anyway, I watch people all the time as I enter the courthouse. Look at the display cabinets; they're fantastic. And so anyway, I agree with Carolyn. The Bayview Cemetery in particular is of interest to her, as it's in her precinct. It's of interest to me as well, and we look forward to a great 2019 with the Historical Commission. Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
Tyner, I'm going to move to number 2, which is in regards to IB McGee Multipurpose Office Building and the professional service contract with LAN, and ask that you give us a briefing here.
Howdy, Judge.
Howdy.
Commissioners. This is an amendment.
Did you say howdy?
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure I heard that right. I know, I didn't.
old habits, hard to
Okay.
die. Sorry
That's
about
okay.
that.
That's all right.
Any, quit laughing at me. This is an amendment to the professional services contract that we have in place to get the plans and specifications done for the IB McGee multipurpose building. This is separate and apart from the RV park itself. I just want to make that distinction. The building itself is covered under our insurance policy. We do have enough insurance money that we've received so far in hand, according to Tim in risk management. He deals directly with the insurance adjuster guy that we've been fighting with, and to cover what we're putting out there right now for engineering, including TDI windstorm engineers for the roof. You know, we've got to get the WPI 8 certificate for that. And so it's been difficult. It's been slow. The elevator has been something that's really been kicking us in the rear end, Ron. You know, trying to get that elevator system back up. I know, and
I sympathize
yeah.
a lot.
Okay. So the elevator system has been something, I don't know why they put an elevator out there, but anyhow, we can eliminate it. I've been working with Tyner extensively because we thought, well, maybe we can build a ramp and just get rid of it. The building was designed for ADA access all the way to the top floor, so we've got to reestablish that ADA access all the way to the top floor. When we reconstruct this building, we're going to, since because of the amount of applying probable reconstruction cost, we're going to have to bring the entire building up to our new DOJ requirements, and so that's going to push some of the recovery costs up. But anyhow, we've got to go through this motion. The reason why, so you're familiar, Judge, the reason why we have engineering involved in this is that early on, I recognized we had structural damage to the building, and yeah, we could have gone out and gotten 3 quotes, estimates, whatever, from any GC we wanted to, but I wasn't going to take the risk of a public building having structural damage and not having an engineer put a seal on it and say it's been repaired correctly. So, and I also knew that would help us with any fight with the insurance company, because you know, it doesn't matter what insurance company you got, you know, whether you're with TWIA or private, when they love to get your check every month, but they sure hate paying out. So,
I have a question.
yes, sir.
When I looked at this and the LAN, is that the same engineering company that we had problems with?
Nope.
A while back?
Nope.
So has all this gone through the process already, approval from the Public Works? Have they reviewed
Yep.
all the process?
Well, the Public Works wasn't involved at the time when this was executed. We executed this right after the hurricane. We executed the original contract, I want to say in
I think it was March.
March of 2018. Yeah, we're in 19 now, 2018.
Are you going out for bids?
What? We don't bid out professional services contracts. Yeah,
All you're doing is engineering right now?
Right.
yeah, this is all engineering. There is no construction plans and specs done yet. This last element will get us there. I don't know, what do you think, Scott? How much longer do you think it'll take to get biddable plans and specs that we're going to, and at the request of the former Judge Neal, when Juan came on board, we run all of our projects through Public Works now, where we hadn't been doing that before.
I'm going to let the Commissioners Court recognize Scott Harris from Lockwood Andrews and Newman, sorry.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Commissioners. Yeah, with this amendment, we'll probably need another somewhere between 60 and 90 days. The amendment includes coordinating with third-party consultant for the roof replacement, which was an unforeseen condition at the time that we assessed the facility. It also includes the elevator issues that Scott just mentioned. The problem with that is there's a lot of unknowns with the elevator shaft. At this time, the elevator sits inside the shaft itself, and it's inaccessible to anybody looking at it. So there's extensive work that has to be done to remove that or move that elevator so that we can look at the elevator shaft. So there's a lot of unknowns with the elevator shaft that we don't know at this time, and that's part of this amendment as well, is us taking that into consideration.
The scope is extended towards the elevators as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I got a question, Scott. So we don't have a base number here, like a working number of what we have through
For building recovery or engineering?
engineering? In other words, they say this is what's going to cost to do the project?
This amendment that we're proposing to you right now will wrap up all the engineering, and we'll be done.
And then
Will you have a number figure though, and what it was gonna cost?
engineering, yeah, this amendment is set.
What's gonna cost for the construction of this?
Oh, the construction of the building. Right now, the opined probable construction, reconstruction of the building is between $500,000 and $750,000.
The big in between.
Yeah, but it's the elevator that's driving it. The engineer is estimating right now a little over $500,000 to refurbish the building. It's the elevator that is that big unknown that could be $250,000 to $350,000. We don't know.
The reason I'm asking that, because if you haven't gone through our engineers to see what they have or they're doing, see, I'm going through the same thing, I'm at a number, I can't go beyond that number, because that's what they said we're gonna do.
Mhm.
And I can't come back and say, well, I didn't know it was gonna cost that much, and I'm gonna charge you this much now. So I think, I don't know about Juan, are y'all involved in this thing? Yes.
Not really.
No. Judge, Commissioners, good morning. Judge, Commissioner, no. To be honest, we haven't been involved. I know Scott has kind of given me a little bit of, we talked about it a little bit, but not real thorough, real detail on the project, Commissioner. I do request that if there's any meetings with the engineer, or any future meetings with the engineer, that we be involved in it. We do request that.
Well, I think you should be involved in it.
So, we'll get with Scott.
Yeah, what happened, we have, this project, first of all, just real brief history, has been a major pain. If you remember, this hurricane happened in August of last year, and we're fighting with the insurance companies. This should all be covered under insurance, but that's always the battle. And then, in the past, before I'd gone to Coastal Parks and then gone to Judge Neal, and now that we have a new Public Works Director, I'm trying to say this as politically correctly as I can, things have changed, and so now we're trying to get things to go through Public Works that weren't going through Public Works before for reasons that probably or whatever. This was one of those projects that got in before we started shifting everything to Public Works, and so now we're trying to include Juan as we can, but at the same time, Juan only has so much capacity, and he's expressed to us, not that he can't do it, I don't want to put words in his mouth, he'll do whatever we tell him to do, but that he only has a certain amount of man and woman power to handle the project. So this project is kind of one of those tweeners, and we're trying to include Juan at his, whatever he wants to do, Scott will do. And I think that's a fair assessment. Whatever Juan tells Scott he wants Scott to do with this project, not tells, that sounds wrong, but works with, they're more than willing to do that. At the same time, we're trying to not kill Juan and,
My last question is this funds going, you said insurance?
Yes, sir.
But what if it's more than the insurance funds? Where's it coming from?
Well, that's when we may have to go to litigation.
That's going to be a decision that's going to have to be made by the court at a later date. Yeah, you've got a multi-million-dollar facility there. You're going to, we insured and then we're self-insured in some areas. And I think that's what really hurts us is when we self-insure and we don't have that capital sinking fund, for a lack of a better word, sitting there ready to fix it. But I can't answer that question. That's going to be y'all's decision to make at what point. Once we get it out there and we get some, get it through the public bidding process and we get some bids back, then we'll have a better idea of where we're at. We're going to go through that whole court approval process when we go out for bids because of the price point. It's going to go through that. So, I'm not committing the court to any dollar amount without the court approving first.
Do you have any idea how much you're going to get from the insurance company? Any idea?
No, I wish Tim was down here. We have just really refocused back on coastal parks. However they decided to do it, the effort was to focus on getting the fairgrounds whole first and then coming back to coastal parks. And so we're just starting that process to fight with the insurance company. We had a real big powwow last year where we all sat around the judge's conference room with Swantner, Borden, whoever our insurance carrier is, and its adjuster on the phone, and everybody was getting very frustrated, and we went over everything, and so he's been presented with some preliminary numbers, And so we don't know how we're going to come out of that yet until I'd literally, week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I think Tim just finally got to a point where, okay, we're done with the fairgrounds. Now we're going to focus on coastal parks.
But you've seen some preliminary,
No, I have not seen a preliminary offer. I've only been told of what we've initially gotten, which it's over 200,000. I think, Dale, do you remember? Yeah, I mean,
The process, the way the process has to work is we have to hire an engineer. We have to have these plans and specs. We have to have a legitimate cost to contest with the insurance company, because the insurance company is going to pay what they call the undisputed loss. Then if there is a disputed loss, then we will have to fight with the insurance company, which could very well delay us moving forward on this project, because if we don't have enough to do what we think we need to do, then we don't have enough to do it. And it's a real bad deal, because this is a wonderful building. It's a very highly used when the park is open, and it hasn't been open for a year plus. It's very highly used. It's by the people who stay there, by the people who live and work in Port A, and it's this really nice building that was built many years ago, but we're stuck. When was it built?
2006.
Right, and so but this elevator is a large cost, and we're not sure where we're going. This is just part of the process now that we have to go through, so that we can have backup, that if we do have to engage in litigation, because we think, and we don't know that yet, that the insurance company doesn't pay us enough because we think we're covered for it and they think we're not, then we have to have backup to go forward, so that Laura can advise us at that point, okay, do we have a good case or we don't have a good case?
Right, so what I'm hearing here to help us kind of close the door here just a little bit is, I hear two things. One is we have to go through a process, and Lockwood Andrews is going to be the recommended engineering professional services to get that process begun. I think it would be good to bring in Juan to the extent that you can keep him apprised of everything. I know Scott and Juan, you know each other, so that should not be hard at all. And in addition, keep the court informed so that we can also kind of know what our next steps are. And then, let's see, there was something else. What was your second?
Also the bidding process, is that going to purchase, is that going to purchasing?
Yeah, because, yeah, no,
Right.
it'll all be official public bidding, purchase process, procurement
Right.
process, everything. We don't circumvent that. We can't by law. We got to follow that.
I just feel better if one kind of reviews.
That's why we're
But,
throwing them,
no, when we get plans and specs, Commissioner, that are done and ready to go through that process, they will go through one. We did that on the RV park.
Tim just came in if you want to bring him up.
And so, once we get through that process, we'll do that. We're doing that now. All we did was initially go out and say, okay, as most of y'all know, the first 4-6 months after the hurricane, we're running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to figure out where we're going. FEMA, we go on insurance, what are we doing? And so, we're out there grabbing, let's go.
You know what, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of my goals is to make sure that never happens to us again. We never want to be a chicken with our head cut off, because we understand what our plan has to be. That's part of that resiliency, and I know that you would probably now can really address those a lot better. Tim, with risk management's here, you and I have not had a chance to meet, but you have been, hello. You and I, we definitely do, because as we discuss insurance needs, really you're an integral part of all of this. And so what I'm looking here is for a multi-department type of coordination. And the issue, just so you know, is to discuss the potential, well, we don't want to call it litigation, but the issue is whether or not insurance will cover the extent or the scope of work that engineering is about to reveal with regards to the elevators at IB McGee.
That's correct, Judge. Like he was saying earlier, I was watching from inside my office,
Okay.
and all these situations that we've transpired over the last year and a half with insurance have been challenging. However, the exact amount that we received thus far for the IB McGee complex is $283,338. That was the initial payment on there. Right now, we, even when Judge Neal was here and Tyner was involved in it, we've had problems with the insurance company. We have an adjuster who wants to go one at a time. So, you know what? We just finished up the fairgrounds, fought, scraped, punched, kicked, screamed till we got what we thought was necessary before we went to litigation just with the fairgrounds. But I just want to mention the elevator within the IB McGee complex because it is not covered by insurance. We've looked, we've talked about it, it is not covered. However, we did get a crumb thrown to us, which the insurance adjuster did give us $60,000 towards fixing it, but as far as getting any more money just for that elevator itself, it's not going to happen, unfortunately, from the insurance company. So we're in the process now. The adjuster does have the engineer report. We don't have the new amendment here, but all the invoices, engineer reports have all been submitted to the adjuster, so he knows what figures we're looking at to get this building back up. And he knew there was structural damage on that building as well, so he is well versed on what we need, what we expect out of this payment.
And Tim, when you say the elevator, and we're way past what we probably should be doing on this deal, so it's just an extension for engineering, but since we're out here, and when you say the elevator's not covered, have you run that by our legal team to ask their legal opinion on the policy?
Right now, no, not yet.
Okay, then, hold on, then the statement you make is not a proper statement at this point, because what until my lawyers tell me that it's not covered based on their policy review, then, because I don't understand how we would have a policy that covers the building that wouldn't cover an elevator. It could, not saying it could, doesn't, but I think I'm just cautioning you on making bold statements as you've made that says it's not covered until the legal team reviews it and the legal team makes a determination, because I don't think that's that would be good.
As far as the insurance company is concerned.
That's the better way of saying it. That would be the better way of saying it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, and until they send us a denial in writing on certain things, then they have not yet made a determination, just so you know, because they may say to you, well, I don't think it's covered, but until we get something in writing, putting on my lawyer hat, no, I just want to be careful what we're saying, because I'm not, and I don't want anybody on this court to think, or anybody out there watching, that we are in any way, shape, or form agreeing with the insurance company yet, because we don't have an official partial denial, full denial, whatever in writing, and until those things happen, it's all just a negotiation.
Understand, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this has been an excellent little exercise on why we need to have, I guess, good department head meetings, but the point is, it sounds like we're all together now. So I'm pleased, Scott, Juan, and Tim. This is an interesting project. It's a project that obviously the community is really, been waiting a long time for. Scott, let's also explore with Commissioner Chesney maybe some granting opportunities that might, fill the gap. We want to go ahead and prepare for the alternative. I see Maria, so, that needs to be on our radar. And we'll all just get together. And again, today's purpose is for the professional services contract that I think is probably, required for the process. Juan, do you agree with that we need to get the engineering? Okay, and then they're going to kind of keep you in the loop so that you can play overseer. Okay? Is there any further discussion? Can I get a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, thank you. We got that professional service contract. Thanks, Scott.
And Judge, just real quick, Scott,
Yep.
just real quick, tell the court what you've been doing in regards to what Anita was just talking about.
Yeah.
Markers, because
I would actually serve I'm on the board of directors for the Port Aransas Preservation Historical Association. And so what we've been doing is, a lot of people don't realize how significant IB McGee Park is to the history over there. It used to be a World War II base. Before that, it was related to Fort Sims, which was the Confederate fort before it went to Union Fort during the Civil War. Anyhow, we have two old World War II gun turrets, 155 millimeter cannons that set on the dunes on our property. And so we've been working to put up placards and bring that history. And when the jetty display goes down over at the museum, we're going to move it over into the foyer, over into the park office once it gets reestablished for all the park visitors. So we're real keen on our history over there. The jetty, if y'all ever wanted to sit down, I could tell you all kinds of stuff about how the causeway was built and when the county ran the ferry over there, everything. But I know
No, write it all down.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Judge. Sorry.
Just as a final note, Dale, just make some notes on that. I mean, clearly we may have a gap. Let's just keep that in mind, we don't want to lose that. And of course, Lauda, I guess you heard the writing very clearly that legal needs to follow up. So it was Great, that's a great exercise. Okay. Number 3, Tyner, I'm going to let you take the lead on this issue as it is. I'm not certain how much the court really has background on this. Provide the background, if you will, or who would you like to call to?
I've
for
got some
assistance?
nationwide people here, but let me
Great.
set this up, please.
Yeah, please do.
Dale sent me some stuff about 10 days ago and said, Tyner, take a look at this. We got to make a decision. I actually have a February 1 deadline. I'm not a participant in a deferred compensation plan that the county sponsors. We do have about 123 employees that I understand do participate in the plan. Now, I did some research. I'm not a deferred comp expert, but I started doing research last week, and I found out that Nationwide first showed itself to the county in the minutes back in 2001. And basically what happens, Nationwide goes to the Human Resources Department and says, hey, HR, this is not a contract with the county. Let's just go to court and give the employees the opportunity to take payroll contributions into a deferred comp plan. So basically, the employees on a payroll deduction, pre-tax, it goes into a deferred comp. And it's held and hopefully earns interest. And this is a retirement tool or an investment tool for employees over the years. It grows tax-free typically, and I have some Nationwide people coming with me here. But then it allows that money to grow, and then the employee can use that money later on in retirement. Now, what I discovered over the last 17 years, I don't know that the county has done anything when there's been plan changes to really investigate and go out for proposals or anything. But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to have a recommendation today to the court. We do have to make a decision, please, today, because we are fiduciaries on behalf of our employees for the plan. And so I do have, Wilson is here. I've got Wilson and Jose Garza from Nationwide, and I'd basically invite them up, please, to please tell the court what their options are in making a decision today.
Thank you, Tyner, and thank you, Judge and
morning.
Commissioners. It's an honor to be here. And on behalf of Nationwide, we started in 1926 to help Americans prepare for and live in retirement. And I'm honored and humbled to say that we started serving the citizens and participants in Nueces County in June of 1980. So we are entering our 39th year to help your employees prepare for and live through retirement. So my role at Nationwide, I'm a retirement specialist. I provide education to your employees. I do that through group presentations. I've actually done presentations in this room, and also through one-on-one consultations with your individuals to help them either set up a plan or if they're getting ready to retire, how that's going to look like. So the deferred compensation allows your employees to set aside money pre-tax. If you don't have a plan, you can start one for $10 a paycheck. You always have the option to increase, decrease, or cancel at any time. As long as you work with the county, you can contribute to the plan. A little history of the 457. The 457 was set up for the public sector, and it's not tied to your age or years of service. So if you have an employee with the county, let's say they leave at age 50, they can access their money and there's no penalty to pay on that. So our role at Nationwide is to help provide the education and to look at the long term for all of your employees. And I'm honored also to say that I enjoy working with your staff here at the HR department, with Julie Guerra and with Linda Mahone. They're very, offer great hospitality, and it's a great chance to help your employees to do what they need to do for retirement. So at this time, I'm going to introduce Jose Garza Jr. Jose is our program director for the state of Texas for Nationwide. And Jose?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to be here today. So I just want to add a little bit more on a 457 plan and how it works. So this is it's an optional plan for the employees of Nueces County. So it's not their pension. It's voluntary. They don't have to participate in the 457 plan. Those that choose to participate basically have another stream to save for their retirement plan. It is pre-tax, as was discussed. And what we have here and proposing today is that we need to discuss the GMR, which is the Guaranteed Minimum Interest Rate. So in the state of Texas, for all 457 deferred compensation providers, the minimum that we have to pay on a fixed account is 1%. And we've been paying for the last decade at 3.5%. So our rate and our guaranteed minimum interest rate has been at 3.5%. So the floor has been 3.5%, and our rate's been 3.5%. And as you know, for the last decade, the rates have been at historic lows, and quite frankly, have not still, although they're rising, they have not come up to where we are. So we are basically having to adjust that rate, the minimum, the guaranteed minimum interest rate, and eventually take it back down to the state minimum of 1%. That doesn't mean that we're going to pay a rate of 1%. It just means our floor will be the state minimum of 1%. I do want to point out that as of December 31st, the balance on the 457 for the county is it's a little bit over $6.5 million. Out of that, 54% is invested in this fixed account that we're discussing today. So there are 123 participants participating in the fixed account out of the total 257 participants participating in the 457 plan. So I wanted to mention that because it's important to know that as we're discussing those that might be affected with this rate. So
does the rate go back? Does the rate start? In other words, whatever you guaranteed at first, that stays, but then going forward it goes down, or how does that work?
No. So we have there's three options. So option number one, and I'm not sure. Do you all have the documents? Okay, so you have them in front of you. So option number one.
It's attached.
Yeah, it's here.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. So option number one basically shows a schedule, and it shows it's a sliding schedule. Starts with 2019, showing the GMR at 3%, and eventually down to 2022, where we would be at the state minimum of 1%. So, for example, for this year, for 2019, we are saying our floor will be 3%, but we may still be paying 3.5%. We just won't pay lower than 3%. And for 2020, we won't pay lower than 2.5%, and so forth and so forth. So that is option one. Option two is very similar to option one, follows the same schedule as that first option. The difference is that it allows the participants, those that are currently participating in the fixed account, to move up to 40% of their assets out of the fixed account into another mutual fund of their choice within the fund lineup. So they can move that. The plan is currently allowing only 20% of those assets to be moved out. So this will allow that individual to move up to 40% if they choose to do so. And for that, the yield, so the rate that we will pay is 10% lower than option one. So if option one, we're paying 3.5%, option two will be at 3.4%, following the same schedule on the GMR. Now, option three, I think, goes back to what was mentioned, where the assets are protected. So option three is a little unique and a little different. All of the assets currently invested in the fixed account, the nationwide fixed account, will be guaranteed at 3.5%. But all new contributions will then be determined by which option you choose within option three. So there's an option 3A and 3B. 3A is we will be providing a new fixed account with a rate of 1.2 and the guaranteed minimum interest rate of 1%, which is the state minimum. And in option 3B, it will default to a target date fund. So, and that target date will depend on the participant's age, with an assumption that they're going to retire at age 65. So someone that's 25 versus someone that's 55, there'll be two different target date funds that they would be going into. I do want to point out that regardless of which option you choose in 3, whether it's A or B, the participant can override the default that you choose. So if you choose 3A, accepting the new fixed rate, they don't have to have their monies going into that fixed account. They could determine that their new contributions will go into another fund of their choice within the fund lineup. The same for 3B.
You mean they can come out of 3A and go into another option, like 1 or 2?
No.
They have to stay within 3.
Well, the fund lineup currently has over 40 different mutual funds.
Oh, okay.
And they
can pick their
range
mutual
between,
fund. Okay.
you have Fidelity funds, American funds, and so forth, yeah. So within the fund lineup, they can move out.
I just need someone to call me later. I'm not going to bother you with my individual questions since I participate in this, but I just need to understand this later for myself. But I appreciate this. I understand the 3 options. I just need to talk to someone later, please.
We'll be available for that.
But thank you.
But your decision to go to and I mean, let me ask sort of an HR question. Is Julie here? No. I'm wondering how we're going to communicate this to our employees. Would you address that?
Yes, thanks for
Uh-huh.
So we will be putting together the communications to all those affected. So we will, once the decision is made, then we will draft a letter out. We will present it to you all for review prior to you going out to the participants. We will also be on site to answer any questions, conduct some meetings, and meet with individuals, not only as a group, but, privately to discuss the changes.
And I was going to ask Julie this, but if you're aware, you can answer. Did you do anything to solicit input from the members that are participating right now in the 457? Like Commissioner Chesney?
No, we
Okay.
did not. I mean, I will state that, we are a leader in the 457 market. We continue to, and we will continue to pay as much as we can. It's just the rates have not kept up.
To measure it.
We certainly don't intend to pay a 1% rate, even though that's the floor. We're not gonna, we need to be competitive too.
Judge, can I?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I do want to address, I did meet last week with Tyner and with Julie Guerra, with Linda Mahone, and then with Andy from the Finance Department. And Tyner had one of his staff members come in who's in the plan, and we did have conversation.
Good.
I don't want to bring the individual's name up for confidentiality, but we did have that conversation.
Yes, thank you. And I'm going to ask a question, and the answer that you're going to get is going to explain why I'm recommending what we're doing. What plan do you recommend for Nueces County?
Well, technically, we're not the fiduciary of the plans.
Right.
We could only provide insights and guidance, but I cannot choose your.
Right. I was going to ask Julie to come up. And Julie, just before you arrived, they've given us a briefing on the option 1, 2, and 3. And
Yes, I was listening as well.
okay, great.
And the way we're going to communicate it to the employees is I'll get information from Wilson, and I'll either I'll both put it in the newsletter and send out an email blast
Okay.
to all of our employees.
And Nationwide will then be able to be proactive and meet with individuals and discuss some of these options, like moving your 20% to 40% mutual funds, or. I mean, this is clearly for the more sophisticated investor. I mean, I think that that's pretty clear that this is not something that is your run-of-the-mill decision that most employees will make.
Right, and this is only, this is only affecting one fund within the 40 funds or so offered.
Okay.
And this is just, it's basically, the Nationwide fixed account is basically like a savings account. It's something that just pays a rate, just like your savings account pays, obviously with a much higher rate. But there are other funds within the lineup. And none of this is a cost to the county at all. In fact, our fixed account has 0 fees on it whatsoever, so it doesn't even cost the participants any money. And
Yeah.
it is one of our oldest funds. It's been around since 1931.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask. Is there a cost to the county? But I just want to make this statement. You said that this is due, the deadline's February the 1st.
That's correct.
Okay, we don't have another court, so the decision has to be made today. I think things like this needs to be brought to us before, so we can have more time to look at it, so we at least have a court time between. I think this is unfair, because I'm all for getting things for the employees, and we do pre-tax. So I understand that, but I just think we need to start being more proactive and bringing this to us before.
I agree, Commissioner. I got this, and there was, when I got this, there was only one more court left. I'm sorry. Let me tell you what I discovered, please. So when I knew that I was not going to be able to get a recommendation from Nationwide, they can't. I asked everybody I knew in similar counties across the state of Texas, all the urban counties, and the only response I got was from Dallas County, and they are not in a nationwide plan. They maintain their own 457 plan. Just out of the blue, last Thursday, I got an email from a guy named Al Cristofaro. Do y'all know that individual? Anyway, it was...
He's a consultant.
He's a consultant. Just out of the blue, he said, you know, Tyner, I saw that you're looking for information through the CUC, and what I learned was this guy was actually a consultant for the city of Corpus Christi, and the city of Corpus Christi pays him. But I said, look, I've got to recommend to the court to make a decision based on these options. Can you please help me? And he was willing to help me. He told me option 3 is the way that we want to go. Then I reached out to NACO, and if you look at these forms, a lot of times NACO's at the top. You see that on the top right? So I contacted NACO, and I was able to speak to a guy named Bill Jason. You may know him. And I said, can you please help me make a recommendation to the court? And he looked at everything I'm showing you here, and unless there's anybody with a better option in their mind, I think I've narrowed it down to making an option 3A. Option 3A would be the best. I think what it does, everybody that's in the 3.5 fixed rate, it retains that investment. And you know, I think the people, I think you said 54% of the people are in the fixed account.
No, not 54% of the people.
54% of the assets are in the, and so by making an option 3 choice, those people continue to make that 3.5%.
And I understand all that, and I'm not against the plan. I just think we have got to start bringing this to us before, at the last minute. We have to make a last-minute decision. I don't like that. That's my only point, Tyner.
I agree with you. And you know, I spent a considerable amount of time last week. Just real quick, I'd like, Julie, do you have any more input on the plan? Edward is a plan participant. Do you mind me saying?
Just did.
Too late.
Too late.
We have 123 participants in this plan, the fixed account.
Yeah.
So again, it's 257 total participants. Out of those 257, 123 utilize that fixed account in one way, shape, or form. So I may be a participant and have some money, maybe 20% of my money in that safe money, that fixed account, earning 3.5%, and the rest of my money is in the variable type of investments. So where we get the 123 is counting every single person that's utilizing that fixed account.
So is this something y'all are doing? Is this being done industry-wide, or has it already been done?
It was basically done like in 2007, 2008. We just decided for the past decade.
Okay, so that's what you're talking about, the past decade.
Yeah, we maintained that 3.5%. There's no other 457 provider that even comes close to what we're paying and what we have been paying for the last decade.
My only concern with this, I haven't been with the state for a lot of years, and, we don't have the ability to reach to our policymakers as easily as I think, or I hope that our county employees do, at least here, just because of proximity. And me, we have the legislator to deal with when I was with the state. So, there was decisions that would be made, that would be done on our behalf, that just would not make sense or lead to frustration or just a change in what we kind of were expecting or planning. As you know, this is all about planning. It's about predictability. I mean, really, right? Isn't your finances and your retirement about predictability? Wouldn't you agree?
Proper planning, correct.
Wouldn't you agree? I mean, that's what retirement's all about.
You want to save
It's
and
big
plan.
predictability to know this is where I want to go, this is where I want to be. So I'm not saying that this doesn't do that. I'm just saying that anytime you shake up the pot, when you stir things up, that can impact and affect employees. And I know that you maybe have gotten a small sample. Seems like you've gotten maybe 3 or 4 people that you've spoken with on this. My concern is that the other 120 people or so that are part of this, how will this work for them? I know, we're hearing and we're saying, well, the county, it's not going to cost the county. Well, no, it never costs the county, but it costs an employee with time being put into learning the new system, learning how this works. Once again, the predictability may not be there, may not be as what they were planning when they signed up for this, long term. So anytime there's changes, I'm always leery. One, because I experienced that as a state employee for 15 years, and so coming here, I worry when we make decisions that change things up. That's my concern when we do things like that. So that's what I'm sharing with you. Is just my concern on predictability. The outreach, some may not notice, some may not care. They'll just keep the money the way it is. It may not need to roll it over or move it over in any way. It's just keep it as is. But my concern would just be getting that outreach to them beforehand, because I agree. Because, what if we come up in a consensus today to say, you know what, we just don't have enough, or we're just not quite ready yet because we just don't have that information. We feel comfortable and make a decision. But we're up against the wall. And so somebody knew about this. Somebody, whether not Tyner or whoever, somebody knew that this was coming. So I agree that that's not fair to put us in a position. I've said this before, is that, you give me something that I'm not 100%, confident about, then chances are I'm going to ask for it to be tabled, or I'm not going to vote in favor of it just because. And so that's a very dangerous game that we play as decision makers here in the county, to be giving us information, giving us an agenda that we don't have maybe all the information we need. So I agree with Commissioner Vaughn on this. So it may not be dealing with you directly, but I mean, it's a whole lot of things combined that are concerning me. So I'm just going to air that out. I'll continue to listen. I'm not going to shut down. And if there's enough reason or argument to support it, then I will definitely will. But I just wanted to share that part.
And what's the
If I
problem?
may just clarify. So this, I know you mentioned this is changing the plan. This is really, we're talking about the guaranteed minimum interest rate. So it's the floor, basically. In
It's
the
less
state
than what it was before. Is that
in the
correct?
state, in the state of Texas is 1%. It's always been 1%. We've just been paying much higher.
You've been
So
paying.
we'd like to bring it back eventually during that sliding scale by year 2022 to the state minimum of 1%. We're not talking about the rate that we're going to pay the participant. We're just talking about the floor. And I know you mentioned there's changes. I mean, another way to look at this is like, I'm sure you bank with either a credit union or a bank. When they do interest rate change, I mean, they just do an interest rate change. It just happens. I don't believe that they will go and ask every single, participant in their savings account or their checking account how that's going to take place. So I do want to point out, we're talking about the guaranteed minimum interest rate, the floor that we're talking. We're not really even discussing the rate. We will continue to pay competitive rates and hopefully far above our competition as we have been for the past decade and so forth.
So let me see if I can corral us back here. So this is an optional, a couple of high points, and Julie, come to the podium, just kind of echo with this, because he really is the fiduciary, so it's tricky here. I'd rather you answer yes or no. So a couple of high points here so that we can make this decision, because we have to make the decision. We all heard the preference is to make it earlier, right? We've got that noted. This is an optional participation program. This is a tool in the toolbox. The one thing that to me makes fiscal sense is Tyner's analysis that 54% happens to be in fixed income. So we know that, right? We have sort of some controls. The 54% will then max the 3.5%, which is status quo. All right? Okay. Just so you know, my mathematical mind says that's where you should go. But, okay, I'm going to continue with Tyner's analysis. So, having said that, option 1 and option 2 do not give you the 54% of status quo for 3.5% because it's a sliding scale down to 2022.
Guaranteed minimum.
A guaranteed minimum interest rate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to make sure the court understands that 54% of the assets, if we go with option 3A, in that fixed income, the minimum interest rate will stay steady at 3.5%. Jose? 3A. Correct. Okay. Trying to give us, I'm leading the witness, okay? 3.5%. Now, we have, the 46% to worry about. Under option 3A, obviously, there will be the sliding scale. No. Okay, Jose, take me from there.
Under option 3A, you are accepting a new fixed account.
Okay, that's right. That's the 1%, 1.2%. Okay.
And with the guaranteed minimum interest rate of the state minimum of 1%.
Of 1%. Okay, so we gain 0.2. So,
just, if I may,
Yeah.
for just further clarification, so that will be for new contributions. However, that individual does not have to put their new contributions in that new fixed account. They can select another mutual fund within the fund lineup and select their new contributions to go there.
And that's why I think 3A gives the employee
the most flexible.
the most flexibility going forward. And heck, they can stop contributing if they want, but we've retained the majority's principal at 3.5%.
Correct. That to me is the most logical. Also, I just want to point out that on page 6, everybody always wants to know, how can I terminate or how can I withdraw? And that defines it. So we do have the right to terminate the contract after 120 days, after 30 days of written notification, something like that. Okay. So, we do have that. Now, remind this court the February 1st deadline. Is that because the law requires, what was our February 1st deadline?
That is because we need a response.
You need a response nationwide.
Communicate, not only draft the letter that I mentioned for you all to review, but also then to be able to be available, make ourselves available to our participants and send that correspondence to them directly
Right.
as well.
Renew, technically, we can rethink this in a year from now or not?
Rethink which part? Are you-
Well, if I terminated the contract, would I be able to come back into the contract for option 1, 2, or 3, or not?
No.
Okay, so,
If you terminate the plan, because that's what then you could always come back in.
right, but we may not have those same options.
Yeah, so so the court understands a little bit more. So new plans that we've been bringing on, have not been brought on paying a guaranteed minimum interest rate of 3.5%. They've still been far above the industry average. We've been paying on average 2.5%, which is still far above any competition that we pay, that we compete against. So if you were to come, if you were a new plan coming in, we wouldn't be having this discussion because you'd be coming into a different interest rate environment, more in line with what the market's paying.
Okay, so that's significant as well. So we are the beneficiary, quite frankly, of the 3.5% because we hadn't made a move. Okay, that's very significant. If I were to create a new plan, then that new plan would be at a fixed rate that's way below, somewhere around the 2%.
Well, yeah, so the minimum will be the state minimum that we
Of course,
have, and
but-
then our current rate will be fluctuates between, let's say, 2 and 2.5%.
Right, okay, well, is there any further discussion here? Obviously, this is you can appreciate the courts, getting the primer on, Finance 101 here. This is also an opportunity, and I know Julie and I mentioned it just briefly, was this also, got placed on the agenda just last week, but the need to work with our risk management office as well. This is a great example of being able to, I would like to see not only, of course, more time in the future, not your fault, but is to be able to have a department head come before us and say, this is the analysis, much like what Tyner gave to us, but in a written form. And, here is the recommendation that we're giving to you, that we're providing to you, so that we're not doing our financial analysis up here on the fly. But I do think, Tyner, that NACO probably gave you good advice, and the urban counties,
Yes.
I mean, why don't you restate that? The principle, that's your best statement. Why don't you restate that? The principle, the majority of the principle of those that are participants.
Those participants retain that 3.5%.
Right. That's your best statement, and that's your best rationale.
And then, if I may, there's actually two items I put in here, because I learned that there's a whole 457 world out there that we are not aware of. And I learned that the city of Corpus Christi has one of the best performing plans in the entire state, at least according to their consultant. But one thing I learned, if you look at
Caveat.
if you look at the second part of this item, what I would like to do is for y'all to authorize staff to explore the method and timing of maybe seeking more proposals from other 457 vendors, and including the possibility of pursuing a joint plan that's authorized by Chapter 609 of the Texas Government Code. I haven't spoken to the city about that, but there may be a possibility for the county and the city to join join in their 457 plan going forward. I don't know completely yet, but, and Nationwide is great. I'm not threatening them to, to do away with their plan, but I think there's a whole 457 world out there that we may want to learn about.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think that preserving the 3.5% based on what Jose just told me and what I know the market's bearing is the most important thing that we do here today. I mean, I want to look, I want to see what we can do, but I mean, if you went out to market right now, if I said, I've never met you before, but I have a group plan and I want to initiate a 457 deferred compensation plan, what's the best I can do? You're telling this court it's and again, I know you're just representing Nationwide, but the competitive market out there is between 2 and 2.2%.
That's what we're currently paying. I could tell you.
But that's based on a competitive market.
Well, actually, we're above our competition. And I'm familiar with the
Right.
plan with the city.
Yeah.
So I could tell you that we pay higher interest rate.
Right.
Even with our new plans that we
Yeah.
require. But I mean, we have, we are endorsed not only by NACO, but also by the International Association for Firefighters, by the USCM, conference. So we remain a leader in what we do. We take pride in what we do. You can also, just as you stated, you can go out and solicit other proposals. And obviously we would participate in that process with you. The consultant that you reached out, I've worked with him in other plans. In fact, he's recommended us in several other plans. So, it just depends on, who he's
Right.
representing at that time, So they're not, they really try to do their best job they can with what's in front of them and
Right.
whether it's a city or county that they're working with.
And Tyner, I don't think having a motion on what I'm going to call 3A prohibits a motion on 3B. In other words, we can, and I'm looking and seeking from commissioners to take, before the semicolon, a motion to regarding the available options that's been presented here as option 1, option 2, option 3A, 3B for the Nationwide's 457 deferred compensation plan.
So what is the motion that is necessary today?
To approve an option,
We have to pick 1, 2, or 3.
3A, it's actually 4, 3A or 3B.
Thank you.
Like 3A,
Whatever we choose, if the court decides to choose, I hope that y'all will educate the employees on what they're getting into, because they should have a choice, absolutely, and I'm for that. But sometimes this is difficult to understand, and so I hope that y'all will approach it with an elementary level, so that, and some may need that, some may not. But It's confusing.
And that's part of our job. I mean, so just so you know how so we're not, yeah, go ahead, come on.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your input. So how we operate is we do one-on-one meetings with your employees. I will send Julie and Linda a copy, what we call an online scheduler. That's where each individual can put in the time when I come here, when they'd like to meet with me. It gives them the option what they would like to discuss, if it's enrollment, if it's about, I want to review my funds, I want to review my account. We also, besides myself, we have a team that's available that answers phones until 9 o'clock Central Time, Monday through Saturday, so they have another way to contact people. But also with your HR team here, if you have an individual that has some individual questions they want to answer, they can reach out to me. They will send them my contact number. They have access to call me at any time that they need to reach out to me. So we do one-on-one visits. And also when that information goes out, there are flyers that are emailed out so people know when I'm going to be here and what they'd like to discuss.
Okay, and I'm not talking down the employees. I'm just saying that
We do that.
if you're familiar with it, so it's like ABC to you, but people that are not familiar with it, it's hard to understand some of it.
Understand. And that's why we do one-on-one meetings, because oftentimes it's personal, confidential, and they don't want to share that in a group setting. So I've had some incredible one-on-one visits with your employees, and they share some incredible things, and sometimes I'm just there to listen. It might not have anything to do with my finances. I've had people share about their health issues. I just lost my dad. I had one who lost his dad on Christmas Eve. But I'm here to listen. I'm here to serve. That's my whole purpose.
I just want them protected and that they understand what they're doing.
And I agree with you, and that's why Nationwide is committed, has been since 1926.
Thank you.
Black and white.
And so I'm looking for a,
So we have to make
I would like to hear a motion.
a move that we accept the 3A.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
No.
Okay, we have that? Thank you, Kara. On the B part of it, would you like to table, would you like to, for further discussion, commissioners? This is the piece that authorized to explore, different pursuits, I will say, different pursuits.
I don't know. I mean,
It's just.
only if there's a reason. I mean, I don't think we need to if someone knows that there's some really great performing better plan, but to keep sending staff out, we tend to load things up. I don't know if there's a reason to. I mean, I don't know that there's not. I just don't know that.
If there's no interest, that is fine.
Okay.
I'm not saying there's no interest. I'm just saying I don't know why. Julie, I mean, do you think we need to do it? You're the HR director. Do you think we need to do something different than we're doing?
I don't know that we need to at this point. I know we've been working with Nationwide for, at least the past 13 years, and it's been working out fine. And nobody has ever come to me, an employee, to ask if we can reach out to another 457 plan.
Right.
I don't know. Have you heard anything, Dale?
No, there's not, excuse me, there's not been anybody asking about that, but like you said, we've had several of the older plans. We've had several older plans in the past, I think 2 or 3 before Nationwide, and when Nationwide came over, they took over the one that was before that fund, so.
Most importantly, we all just need to get educated. I think that's really what the call to action is here, is to educate ourselves as commissioners, and part of what we do is we wear many different hats, and one of those is to understand the very plan that we either participate in part or in full. So maybe that's our call to action, Julie, and it can start with me as a new employee. So I will try to educate myself so I can educate others.
We do one-on-one and everything else. I know what Commissioner Vaughn is saying. Maybe to put something in writing, and step 1, step 2, step 3, very plain, of what employees have and can do, and, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when you walk out of that one-to-one, they probably forget half of the things you said anyway, but I'm just saying maybe there's something in writing we can put to the employees. They understand the process and what, maybe questions they need to ask, maybe questions, I don't know, but I think I agree with you. There's got to be more education.
And Julie, I think, Julie, if you come across a plan that's better in the sense that they're willing to guarantee a higher rate, then I'm always interested in that. So, I mean, if that comes up, the fact that we're changing this to go back to state minimum, I mean, if somebody comes along with a better plan that's willing to pay more, then that would be something I think everybody would be interested in. But I just don't, but I think the education is right there. As you can tell, I don't know how many, what do we have, 2,000 employees and 250 are involved in this plan. So obviously not a lot of people are involved in it, maybe because they don't know it exists. I didn't know it. And to be fair, I was a judge and didn't know it existed until Judge Klager mentioned it to me. And that was the only reason I even knew it existed. And I don't go to the HR stuff. That's my fault. So I'm the first to tell you I don't go to a lot of those things. So it may just be that some people don't know this exists and maybe need to know more, and maybe they would participate.
We offer it initially at new hire orientation.
Right.
For all new employees, of course. We offer it in our benefits packet that we give to every new employee. We have a benefits fair once a month. Nationwide tends to always be there, so they can speak to them at that time. And then several times a year, we bring Nationwide in, and we send out a flyer as to what it's just basic information. It's not step-by-step, or it's not encompassed of everything that they do. But it is a flyer that if employees do want to meet with the representatives, that they're eligible to, and they can sign up and come to my office and meet with them on one-on-one. So we do outreach, and then I put it in the newsletter as well, so I try.
And normally, when I would deviate like this, Jimmy Welder would cast his fishing rod, Lauda, and pull me back in. So you're welcome to do that, is to cast the rod here. I know we're getting outside the agenda item, but obviously, these are all great ideas, and it starts with leadership. So let me look for ways to work with you to create the education. How's that? Is that fair, Lauda? I'm trying to reel.
You're okay. You're not.
Okay. Always feel free to reel me in. He would do it all the time.
I do.
So okay. All right. I'd like to keep us on pace. Thank you to Jose, and thank you very, very much to Nationwide.
Add a little bit more
Of course.
on what we do for education. So we do have, in addition to what we do here with the 457, I mean, we sit with them, we go over their account. If they have an account, we review their account, and basically help them, make sure that they're on track for retirement. We also have CFPs that are available to them for a full comprehensive plan if they want that. That is at no cost to them. None of this is at cost to them. We don't work on commission. We don't push any products to them. Our main job is basically helping them save and plan for their retirement. Not only do we do not only are we available to conduct some seminars, but we also have a group that we could bring in to the county to do, let's say, a presentation on Social Security, on health care, and really help them understand what all of the intricacies with that is, because those topics could be very complicated. These folks are experts in those fields, and then that's at no cost to the county. A lot of counties or cities sometimes have to pay a speaker to speak on Social Security or on health care. Well, we provide that as a service just because you all have us as your 457 provider.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Julie, for coming over.
Number 4, I think I want to table it.
Okay, we have a motion to table number 4 after receiving information that was pertinent.
Second? Oh, was that your motion? Yep, second.
And I've got a second, and all in favor of tabling signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mr. Hipp, thank you for being so patient. Always nice to see you. Court recognizes Johnny Hipp from the Nueces County Hospital District Board, and thank you for keeping us abreast of all of the exciting news coming this year as it results to, as it interfaces with the hospital district and the legislative session. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. Moving quite along here, we have a issue now. Tyner, do you want to take the lead on animal control order, or do I have a department head? Yes, I do. Thank you. I see you guys.
Yes, Juan is here from Animal Control.
Yes. Hi, Juan. welcome.
Morning.
Tell us about the 6-month review of the animal control order and the amendment that you seek.
The amendment is what we're talking about today.
Okay.
Mainly. Right now, the old county order that we have is the original county order.
Yes.
From 1991, we do animal versus animal on any animal that attacks, bites an animal or a human has to be quarantined for rabies observation, 10-day rabies observation. What we're trying to do is get the animal versus animal out of the county order and do animal versus human only. This past 2018, we had 37 animal versus animal attacks that we put in rabies observation. We also had 36 animal versus human. So it's about 50%. Out of the 37 animals that bit another animal, only the owners, according to the county order, only the owners of the animal can reclaim the animal. They cannot be adopted or rescued or nothing. So the 37 animals, out of those, if the owners did not reclaim those, they get euthanized. With the new amendment that we need to do, we want to do, those 37 animals, we will have discretion. We don't have to make a report and have them as rabies observation. We will have the discretion of getting them adopted or rescued. The rescue, most of the time, is through a 501c3. They have people that train the animals. They have time for the animals to get them ready for the new families. That's the animal versus animal.
And I suppose, based on your experience, this is your recommendation. You feel like this is the appropriate course of action, or have you visited with,
The state law says that animal versus human, we have to do
Correct.
rabies observation. It does not say anything about animal versus animal. When the animal is biting a chicken or goat, they're doing it because it's predator instinct. If they have rabies or the virus is in there, they're not looking to eat. They're just, that's when, because of it's a predator instinct, we don't have to hold them. The state says it's okay. Now, if it's a coyote attacking an animal, some family dog, then if we have the coyote, the residents or the owner of the animal choose the animal, then we can do a head flap. We send the specimen to Austin and we get it tested. So that would be animal versus animal, but it's
a different
on a
category.
high risk. Yes.
And so obviously you like this order also because it allows us to not have to kill the animal if the owner does not claim the animal. It allows us to pass on to peewees or to
Yes.
some of the other 501c3.
That's one of the things.
That's an advantage.
I only have 3 officers for the whole county, 3 animal control officers that patrol and do the complaints. That will free my officers from that. It will free at least 50% of my kennels, which we have 10 kennels for rabies observations. We have 30 kennels total. 10 of those we use for rabies observations. Sometimes we have 8 to 10 animals in rabies observation. 50% of those are animal versus animal.
Can you also, on a case-by-case basis, make the determination to quarantine the animal if you have a unique situation?
Yes. If I'm the local rabies authority, and my officers are the same thing. If the officers think that they have to hold the animal, that it looks suspicious or whatever, we have the authority to do that.
Okay. Do I have a motion on this?
Can I say something? Juan, you are doing a great job out there, and if you commissioners haven't been out there, you need to go look at it. We've got lots to do, but this right here to me is a start. This is going to save animals, and I know you want to do that. And you've got a good rescue and adoption volunteers out there, and I hope that this is the beginning of us going back and looking at the whole ordinance and update to what other cities and counties are doing. So I make a motion we approve.
And I'm going to bifurcate it because of what you just said and because of the way it's written. So let's do that first piece first, which is the Okay, a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of amending the order as written, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And I'm an aye on that too, on the first part. So the second part is the discuss and consider a 6-month review. And I think really maybe it's a review and update. We're looking at a 1991 document. Old Judge Barnes is on this document. Wow. So the point is that, I know. Well, Judge Barnes was old when I was a little girl. So, I mean, but I loved him and he took great care of me at every event I can remember sitting next to him at. But the point is that, you know, maybe it's perfect, but we don't know until we look at a more modern document with, you know, urban cities and best practices. So could I have a motion on that piece of it? It's what I'm calling B.
So moved.
Clerk Sand, sorry to, I'm calling it a B on that. Second, hearing a motion in a second. All those in favor of doing a review of the animal control order, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, aye, and all opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. Thank you for the work you do. You have a lot of animal lovers here. Thank you for saving them. Hi, Juan. Welcome. I'm sorry, Edward. No, he doesn't look like Juan. I'm just thinking too fast. I'm looking down here. Tell us about item number 6, please, with regards to the Borchard Fairgrounds.
Thank you, Judge. And if you're going to compare me to Juan, an engineer,
All right. That's not, thank you. Won't Juan be glad? See, Juan, you're listening out there, and, oh, there you are.
we've worked many a year when he was in the private sector, and currently, as Commissioner Vaughn says, usually when they're in the private sector, they're good.
That's right.
She says that quite a bit, but we've worked very well throughout the year, so it's
Grace is
actually-
such a great virtue to display. Thank you for showing us the way this morning. Thank you. Go ahead.
This is one of the things that we developed. We, back in 2003, developed the fairgrounds, and we started off with a baseball field. Well, this baseball field, believe it or not, is still in effect. We have actually had an interested party, and we're reviewing that from an independent league that wants to look at running the field. But while we're doing that, we usually get school districts and different groups periodically. We may raise about $20,000 to $50,000 a year, depending on the year. And in this case, the school districts, Agua Dulce, this is their second year, as well as London, use it as their home field. So they practice on their fields at home in their neighboring communities, and they come to this field, and then they play their home games. You've got the nice stadium lighting, the sounds, the whole stadium, so it's really nice for the kids. London, Commissioner Chesney was trying to help develop a field over there. I don't think in this case they've finished it up. From what I understand, Commissioner, they're still under construction, so they're going to use the field. So London has 11 dates scheduled for this year, and Agua Dulce has about 7 dates. So it's about $12,500 that the county will see in revenue from this rental. So we ask your approval.
Second, I'm sorry. Can I hear a second? So
Second.
used to seconding. Discussion at this point?
Yeah, it's just, Judge, we have Agua Dulce, who's, been in need of a field for quite some time, and so this has worked, having 2 teams. I think before we used to have Tolosa Midway.
Right.
And so it's been a great venue for teams out in the western part of the county who have still a great facility. It is still in great order, considering that Edwards' team is out there on a regular basis working and maintaining the fields, ready at any moment to be able to rent them out at a quality level and, of course, at a good price. So, and we're excited about maybe a possibility of something in the future for some sort of minor league independent team coming out there and taking up the rest of the dates. So this is just a great venture all around.
Edward, I would love to meet with you on a separate day because I have too many questions that probably nobody wants to hear right now, but I am fascinated by this asset in our county portfolio. And I'm fascinated because it appears to me that there might be other opportunities for revenue producing with regards to other school districts. So I'd like to pursue that with you. I'd like to know how we go about doing that. So I want to learn there. I'm also interested in just the overall assessment from Inland Park's perspective of the field itself, of the maintenance, of the structure. Might have to involve Juan on this because it's kind of more structure plus it'll be a combo. So I would like to see something in writing from you all about that because it will help us understand the asset and how to market it. This is where I might get reeled in, so I'm going to say it real fast. I'm very interested in forming a committee to see how we can do to form more opportunities with this asset, okay? And I would like to bring that to this Commissioner's Court next time.
We appreciate that. We're actually dovetailing on something Commissioner Modis has started about a year ago, and we've been working on trying to develop that, as well as some other fields that he's asked us to.
Great. It's exciting to take assets and make them revenue producing, so keep that up.
How about the travel leagues? They don't use it for play?
The travel leagues, actually, when we get travel leagues coming from Houston, San Antonio, those are good money makers. It's the local leagues that are the issues
right.
When we discussed it with the judge.
Which is really why we need this asset management committee.
Right.
Okay, I want to keep us on task here, so we do have a motion, a second. We've had plenty of good discussion. Thank you, Edward. And I need
Take a vote.
all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed, same sign. Okay. Number 7, Tyner, could you have some background here to provide for us how we're going to use this in protocol? Then I have some thoughts on it as well.
Yes, just for the court's information, as you know, we developed a plan to get out a notice and a scope of work to get it out as widely as we could to seek proposals for consultants for the legislative session and other strategic planning and consulting and government relations services. Michael Robinson and the county attorney got together and did our notice for us. I think Judge Canales had a scope of work that was pretty much ready to go already. We got those two things together, and as Commissioner Chesney cautioned, how are you going to get that out? And I said, well, send it out to my contacts. And he did point out, well, nobody in Austin's going to see that. So what we were able to do is I called my counterpart, Deese Eckstein, in Travis County, and he had an interesting idea, which we did. He bumped into Judge Canales in Austin and got her permission. And our notice and scope of work was posted on a Facebook website called Capital Crowd that has about 400 members. Well, to make a long story short, I believe we got 19 applicants. Travis County did this same thing not too long ago. They only got 3 proposals. So I think...
Have you been to Travis County? I mean, come on, we're way cooler than...
They're weird, but we're cool.
We're way cooler.
So anyway, I'm quite impressed with the response.
Yes.
As these came in, Margaret tried to keep up with them. They were all delivered on paper. Just for your information, the notice did not provide for electronic submittal. I received a number of emails saying, here's our proposal, and I replied and I said, I'm sorry. There is no provision in the notice for electronic submission. And those proposers were able to find a local courier very easily and deliver the proposals on paper.
We're going to move into the modern world here real soon. We're just not quite there yet, but,
Yep,
but those are the types of things that we need to do. But that's another matter. But at any rate, I too echo, and we're thankful for Deese, because Deese is a Texas treasure, and for his involvement, and that's why we got 19 great applicants. But we can only select one, and we need a method to create the filter, the sieve, if you will. And so my suggestion, commissioners, is that we form a special selection committee and that we act quickly, because I think you'll recall at our last meeting, we said we wished we had had the meeting before that meeting. So time is of the essence, as committees have already been established in the legislature, in the Senate. We're waiting on the House. So It just happened this morning? Okay, well, great. So we're timely, and that's important. So my consideration, my thought for your consideration is appointing a selection committee. I would like to make the suggestion that I sit on this committee. Tyner, I would like to ask if you would sit on the committee. Laura, for purposes that this is a professional consulting agreement, you would sit on the committee. And Commissioner Chesney, I'm going to reach back into your past and remember that you were once upon a time in the legislature yourself as the chief of staff to State Representative Todd Hunter at the time, and you might even know some of these applicants, but you certainly understand the lay of the land on strategic planning and consulting in the legislative session. So I don't know if you will, but that would be my wish. I want to remind the audience that's watching, I'd like to have the input of all my commissioners, and so the way the Open Meetings Act works is that we have to be in numbers of 2 for the committee, but my thought is to involve all of you. How about if you could submit your top 3? You've all been provided a comprehensive notebook. I think you've had a chance to review, but if you need a little more time, we could also give that to you. I would like for you to maybe choose your top 3, vet to the top 3, submit that to the committee. Committee, if we could meet quickly, and then by next week have a special meeting that I've asked Tyner to get the rules straight for us. Tyner, you want to brief the court on that, when we could do that?
I just don't have enough time to get a special meeting this week.
Okay, well, next week?
So there is enough time for 72-hour posting. We could have a meeting on Monday, a special meeting of the court on Monday at 9 a.m. For the final selection.
Okay, so I have 2 asks, and I'm going to let you guys comment now. The 2 asks are, 1, to form a selection committee to take the 19 down to something very small, but to receive each commissioner's input to submit their top 3. And I'd be welcome not just to have the names. You can provide a summary as to why you like those top 3. You could rank them or not. And then the committee would form, and the second request, Kara, is that a special meeting be established on what day?
Monday.
What is that day, though?
Will be on the 29th, I believe.
Monday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The 28th.
Monday, January 28th. In the morning? Yeah, so that would be, there's 2 motions that I'm looking for. Let's take the first one.
Would it be possible to do it Tuesday? Is that a conflict for anybody? Can I go to that one first?
Okay,
Tuesday instead of Monday? Or if that's a conflict, then I'll make Monday work. I just was asking.
Give me 1 second. I can do Tuesday.
Is that okay with everybody else? John, Carolyn,
I don't know, I don't have my calendar here, but I'm sure I'll make whatever it is.
Can we,
Joe, is that okay?
how about if we make our motion to have a special meeting next week and we work with Tyner afterwards?
Fine, let's do it now. I mean,
Yeah, Tuesday, if Carolyn, if you want to go.
I'm fine.
You sure?
I'll work around whatever it is.
Me too.
Okay, then I would move that we have a special meeting for Tuesday at 9 a.m.
At that time, are we going to select who it is?
Second.
Yes, ma'am.
We are going to select, right?
Next Tuesday, yes.
Okay.
But the motion is to have the special meeting next Tuesday
At 9
for the
a.m.
purposes of selection. And I need a second. And a second. And all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. I'm going to go backwards in time. I need a motion to
Appoint the committee.
appoint the committee as read into the record, which was, for your reminder, myself, Laura Jimenez, Tyner Little, and Commissioner Brent Chesney.
Judge?
Yes.
Clarification?
Yes.
Are you wanting me here as a policymaker or just on the legal side?
Just on the legal side, is that okay?
That's fine.
Is that you know, I'm new here. Is that okay? Is that all right? Okay. All right.
I just wanted to clarify
I
that.
feel like because it's a contract and because we might have questions regarding the contract and the negotiations of the contract, I would really like you here.
Not a problem.
Or a designee from your office.
Judge, I think we have that motion, and what I would like, and I think that's great, and I'm happy to serve, and I appreciate the opportunity. What I would like, if we can, before we leave, to just get, if it's okay, to get general comments from the commissioners, just on not who, but what you're looking for. That would help me a lot going in as to what each of you might be looking for. Is that
Laura,
okay?
can you give us guidance? Can we do that?
And I just don't want to get into a violation of meetings. The three submissions are fine, but I'd like to know what John wants, just in general, not who he wants, because I haven't, gone through them either. I don't know, I just want to make sure everybody gets a say before we go into the committee meeting in an appropriate manner, if that's okay.
Well, the agenda is a discussion, as far as narrowing down the candidates, so certainly they can say something now.
Okay, if that's okay with you, Judge, just some general,
I'm fine with
if
it.
that's okay, I mean, and if nobody wants to, that's fine.
I think it's very helpful.
We start on this end and just make our way down?
Oh, yeah, let me go first.
Ladies
Go
first.
on.
Ladies first.
You know what, anybody can.
I'm fine. I'm just messing with
Okay,
him. They do
okay,
me like
just
that
wanna
all the
make
time.
sure.
Okay, I want someone that has got contacts up there, and not just someone that says, I know so-and-so, someone that really has personal contacts. I want someone that has no conflicts of interest, that is representing another county or another entity against us for anything.
Okay.
And that's reasonable in cost. And we may have to pay a little more. I've looked at these costs, they're pretty well, there's one that's out of the park. But I've got my three, and I'll turn those in a little bit.
Commissioner Modis.
I agree. I want to look for someone that can get us access in Austin, with relationships, partnerships that they've worked over the years there in the governor's office, lieutenant governor, speaker of the House, people that have that kind of connection or work experience. Obviously, I agree, no conflicts. I mean, that was why we're here now, is because our not to say there was anything going wrong, but we just had questions as far as, can you serve two masters? Especially when you're competing on or dealing with similar issues that may be of a conflict to our interest. And so we got to put our interest as a county first. So I agree. The cost, I think, we need to be careful. We need to pay, but I agree on the scope. I mean, I think that it's very exciting to have this kind of interest and amount of groups that are putting in for this. And my overall question also, just to ask the judge, is you asked us to each submit three. So that's going to, whatever that number is, that's who the committee will screen, or are you looking at a certain amount of votes for that company, that firm, to then be passed along to the committee? I mean, are you looking at a standard, or if somebody gets one vote from one of us, you're going to include them in the mix? What do you have in mind with that?
Yeah, I don't have the rubric developed yet, but I mean, my hope is that we have a 5-0 consensus, on this is the right team for us. I think that's
No, I mean, just getting us to the committee.
Oh, getting it to the committee.
Three votes, we can each come up with,
Great names.
Right, I think the idea is that,
Help us eliminate.
yeah,
so there's no set number, it's just going to see who comes
right.
up.
And I mean, if you just felt very strongly that you could not eliminate to three, I mean, I'm looking for, obviously to try to filter out those that just don't meet our criteria, or those that you don't feel like you have a personal relationship with, or, whatever you can do to process of elimination. I'm trying to get that 19 to a very workable number to have a very meaningful discussion. 19 is just too many to have a meaningful discussion.
Thank you.
Is that fair? Commissioner Gonzalez, any
The only
thoughts?
thing I was going to say, Commissioner Vaughn said it, and John said the other half, so.
Okay,
So I agree. I mean, I think the three it's a good number. I mean, it's going to give you 12 applicants. It might be the same, though. You might come up with, not 12, you might come up with 7, because we're all going to probably maybe turn the same one in. But I think you all need to come up with number 1 and number 2, and then we'll take a vote on it,
Okay.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
do want to point out that this will be a personal services contract, which means that it's an individual. So when you're designating those three people, have a name. Not the corporation, not an association, a name.
But they submitted with partners.
Yeah.
I know. So you'll have to look.
But
we
it could
can-
be their
we can-
names,
Or you
right?
can actually say
Their names?
that, yeah, their names.
Like you could say, because they all submitted a letter,
Right.
Joe and Fred, and we could just say the two names, if they're both the principals or whatever it is, or Sally and Ann, or whoever it
If
is.
submitted already, they can't eliminate, right? I mean, typically when you put in a bid, you can't go and change what your proposal is. I'm just a little worried that what you said will
It's
conflict
what's
with
in,
what we
what's,
have.
what they have already provided.
Right, so like Bill and Fred put in their names.
Right.
And so, say Fred says, I want to drop out, and okay, we're only going to go with Bill. But typically that's not part of the bid process, because whatever you submit, that's what we have to stick with, right?
Whatever, yes, whatever is in there.
So then how does that work then in picking only one name?
No, she said you
No,
could be
no.
more than one name.
Oh, you can pick one more?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We will pick.
The end result is only going to be one person,
So
okay? The end result,
I'm
the
confused.
actual contract will be with one person.
But are you saying it cannot be ABC strategy?
But it can be,
It's not a professional services, it's personal services.
but it can be,
And that's
The two
normally how it's
principals.
done?
it can be the two principals, though. Like if the letter was signed by Carolyn and John, then the contract would be with Carolyn and John, not ABC Strategies.
No.
She's saying just one name.
It would be one name only,
Okay, that's my.
Why?
because it's a personal services contract. It's not a professional services.
Or you could do two personal services contract with the two people who signed, like we did with Trace and Terry.
Yes,
We
you
did
can
one
have-
with Trace and one with Terry.
Okay.
You can actually have a team, you can have 3 or 2.
Right.
But each one will be one individual.
So we'd have to divide the contracts into thirds. If there was 3 principals, let's say, right? Okay.
You can still, like you can still have a team, if that's what you want to do, you can have a team, but not in one contract. There are 3 different individuals or 2 individuals.
Okay.
Could be, right.
I got you.
Okay.
Some submit, I guess, their whole firm package
Yeah.
Right.
with support staff, and so I guess maybe that they can just work that out. on-
Yeah,
Right.
and let me meet with you on, I'm totally unfamiliar with that. I've never heard of that working. I mean, I'm going to throw somebody who was not, like, on our list. If you hired Hilco, you would never get a personal contract with Buddy Jones. That just would not happen, because he's not going to get, you would want it, but that's not who you would be assigned.
Yeah.
Or they would assign somebody.
That is not a professional services contract, basically. It's not, like a lobbyist is not considered, they're not a licensed, they're not certified, all they do is register, so it's not the same as an engineer, as an attorney or whatever.
And
That's
this is
why,
how you've always done it
that's
before.
why you do a personal services, but you still get a person.
And who they use is up to
Do the
them.
scope of
And do we
work.
have any other options available to us? And all counties do it this way?
I don't know about other counties, but that's.
Well, we need to look, because this cannot be the way,
But
I'm-
again, under the Purchasing Act, right, because you're going to be getting some services, the only exception to the Purchasing Act is personal or professional. It doesn't meet a professional, so all you can do is personal.
Or you can bid it out, right? I mean, if
Oh, you can bid
the
it out.
alternative is then you bid it all out, is what she's saying. So counties are different, and that's what we've always been advised, so.
You weren't able to do that because of the time period. So this is a good way to do it.
I see.
Actually, you wouldn't have even have done what we did, the notice, we did like a hybrid. You would have just selected who you want, and that's who the contract is with.
It's just that
It's
it
different.
doesn't afford you all the protections of your LLCs. I don't like that.
I don't either. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, that's a legal dilemma that we'll just mess around with on another day. Very interesting.
Well, and then if you decide, Judge, when you talk to her, that you want to redo the process to where they actually bid it, then unless there's another alternative that I'm not.
Well, I believe that's not allowed either.
You can.
You could bid it, you could bid it out.
You can bid it, then the LLCs have the protection of, as you said, the LLC.
Yeah.
Just under that, you can
It's-
select whoever.
Well, yeah,
It's odd.
it's an odd bird, because
Well, y'all talking, if you want to
Okay,
change the meeting.
The point is that we have a special meeting and a selection committee now formed. You guys have recitated the traits that you're looking for, and if, just for the record, I'm looking for someone who truly understands our legislative agenda and our county, and both has local contacts and, obviously state on both sides of the aisle. This is a very important legislative session. It's very important to counties, and somebody who really has a mastery of understanding our local bills, our local issues, but has not lost sight of the fact that we're going to be dealing with revenue caps, property tax reform, et cetera, et cetera. And this is my, this is my add-on to the bullet points already articulated. Okay. I've been told when I go over to lunch, what's my penalty? I have to provide lunch? Okay, I'm moving it.
Excuse me,
Yes. Oh, no, we didn't get a second?
No, we got a second. I don't know if we voted.
We got a second, for sure.
I second it.
Okay, so we did not vote on the committee, Kara?
You need a vote on the
I'm sorry. Okay, let me take that vote now. All in favor of forming that selection committee as articulated, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Post same sign. Okay, thank you for keeping us straight there. By the way, I want to recognize that, one of the unsung heroes is sometimes, or people who have to interpret our minutes. And thank you to our county clerk who has to rewatch these videos to make sure that she captures everything we say. When we get into discussions, we have to remember to come back to the motion, clearly articulated, so she can get it down and captivate that for us. So thank you for that, for being patient with us. It's time to do the grants. Maria, come on up. My favorite section, money from other places. First one is good morning, is on Metrocom, if you'll lead.
Yes, so back early last year, our former emergency management coordinator had submitted an application to the State Homeland Security Program through the governor's office for the Metrocom's Dispatch Center Enhancement Project. We did receive that grant award in November 2018, and we have since met with all the parties at the table. We had representatives from the city here, along with Dale and some representatives with the county to work out how the project will work. So basically, the county is acting as a pass-through agency. The city of Corpus Christi will be implementing the project. It is for software, installation of some special software that will improve their communications and their call-taking abilities in Metrocom, as well as some additional training for their staff for that software. So the grant award was in the amount of $146,671.59. The city just did their second reading of this interlocal yesterday and was able to bring us their original signed interlocal yesterday, so that is being routed for signature. So the way it's going to work is, again, the county is the fiscal agent. However, the city will be buying the equipment, software, invoicing the county. The county will reimburse the city for those expenses, and then the state then reimburses the county. So we recommend approval on this. It's a great collaboration between the city and the county, and again, we recommend approval.
That's great. I'd like to start keeping a running list of all the cooperative opportunities that we have, that we act on. I want people to understand cooperation. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
And the second by Commissioner Modis. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, tell us now about the Texas Indigent Defense Commission.
So back in October 2017, we executed a grant award from the Texas Indigent Defense Commission for what we're calling the Pretrial Risk Assessment Initiative. It was the brainchild of Judge Sandra Watts, where we do have 2 employees kind of on loan from our adult probation, from our CSCD, and they are conducting risk assessments in the jail. And from what I understand, they're doing it 7 days a week, 24/7. They're assessing, the risk of releasing inmates. So it's in an effort to reduce jail population. From what I understand, it is working very successfully. Judge Sandra Watts would have the actual numbers. We did request an extension to this grant award only because we did contract with Texas A&M and their Public Policy Research Institute to kind of run those numbers for us and establish how successful the program is. Getting their contract in place took a little bit of time, so we basically asked for the extension to allow Texas A&M to do additional research to give us a full report on the success of this program. So this is a no-cost time extension for this grant award, and it'll bring it out to June 30th, 2019. And we recommend approval.
So moved.
And I've got a so moved and a second, and so I will ask for a vote on this. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Our third agenda item is, and there's a little clarification on this. This will be ratifying the execution of a contract with the Texas Department of State Health Services under their Hurricane Crisis Cooperative Funding Opportunity for Traditional Vector Control. This contract was sent via DocuSign, and it was sent directly to Judge Canales, and it was signed electronically because they're moving into the 20th century.
Yeah. This was $105,000.
Yes, it's for $105,000, no cash match required. This will allow, they had the opportunity, and we applied for about $416,000. Only $105,000 was available, so we did narrow down kind of the needs of the Public Works Vector Control Department. So this will fund 4 foggers that would be used for roadway spraying, some microscopes that'll be used out in the field for mosquito identification, mosquito gravid and light traps for larval control, larvicide, as well as 2 16-foot trailers to carry and haul their equipment, and then some training and study materials to hopefully get a new pesticide applicator in our Public Works Department. Again, it was one-time only funding, no cash match, and we recommend approval of the application.
Let me ask a question. Maybe you said, I was trying to write down some notes as you were talking.
Sorry.
So, like some of this equipment, it sounds like what they utilize in Austin when we send a suspect mosquito, like for West Nile, like we had one in Agua Dulce last year, right? And so that was a big deal. That was a big concern. And so our vector people not our vector people, with the state collected and sent it up to their labs. So it seems like some of this equipment is similar to that. So we're going to be doing our own infield, or are we already doing that, or
Well,
does Juan know, or?
And I can't answer specific questions regarding mosquito identification, but I do know that they do mosquito.
Really? Come on.
I know that Victor at Vector does, because we were talking about
Victor at Vector.
about 40 different species of mosquitoes yesterday in my office.
Don't go there.
I can't even ask specific questions on mosquitoes. So other than they bite and they're mean, right?
There's a lot to learn, right? So,
Yeah.
but
Victor at Vector.
is that what I guess some of this
3 times. Say that for us, real fast. Come on.
Victor at Vector? He's a good guy. But so is that what some of this is going to be used for then?
Well, Commissioner, to answer your question, it is going to be just equipment to replace. So it's going to be some additional, and plus some additional traps.
And additional, okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Juan, where's that put you on equipment? Because I know last year we had, a problem, and y'all didn't have, y'all were spread thin. So where's that put you after getting this?
Well, the equipment that we had is pretty much all. The spray foggers that we have, I'm estimating about over 10 years old. So this will help us out in replacing some of those equipment.
And you can still use the others if you had to.
That is correct. And in addition, there is an additional equipment, which is I can't pronounce the name, but it's one of the ones that spray about a 5-mile radius. So we are going to get that also as part of this grant.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
And are we
So free
eligible?
equipment.
I know, it's wonderful. Are we eligible for any more? In other words, when can we apply again?
This particular funding is one-time only funding because
darn.
it was money allocated, I guess, we had to tie it into the mosquito problem after Hurricane Harvey.
Oh,
So
I
this
see.
was special kind of disaster
Yes.
funding, but we can definitely look
Okay.
into other funding sources.
Okay, well, great job on that one, Maria. Let me get a motion and a second, please, to approve this extension.
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, this execution. Okay, and all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. Okay, and number 4, please.
Our last agenda item, I will defer to Commissioner Modes and Commissioner Gonzalez on some of this. It's discuss and consider the execution of an agreement between Nueces County and Texas A&M University on behalf of their Colonias program. Now, I will say that the agreement is not ready for execution. The Colonias program did send us an MOU. It was vetted through our county attorney's office and has been redrafted and is now back in the hands of Texas A&M. But I did want to open it up for discussion because there is an application. Okay, so the background on this program is Texas A&M University has identified funding through the Department of Defense, and it's their Innovative Readiness Training Program, which can provide us with assistance in engineering and construction projects, as well as what they call civil affairs. I think that the thinking behind that, as far as the civil affairs program, was doing the income and surveys out in our colonia areas that will help us in the future to get funding by identifying the areas that have the most need, the most populated colonias, and they would help us with that. We're only a 3-person department with actually 2 employees right now, so to actually go out and do those surveys, for Texas A&M and the Army Corps or the Army to go out and do this would be a huge help for us. And then there was also discussion about, because a section of the fairgrounds parking lot is being used as a staging area during hurricanes and emergency events, they can actually assist with helping redo, repave, do some construction on that parking lot. So I don't know if the commissioners want to add the application. I did finally get a copy of the application. Originally, the discussion was that Texas A&M would apply on behalf of Nueces County. We got some direction yesterday that the Army needs the county to be the signatory, and now I'm being told, after looking at the application, that they would like it inputted by January 25th.
Friday, yeah.
Yes, and the county would have to be the signatory. It is an online application because I did ask for them to send it to me, and I just was sent it maybe about 30 minutes ago. It's very basic application. There really isn't a whole lot of assurances and things that we have to attach to that, and I can let the county attorney look at that before we press the submit button. The county now has to create an account, and I have Natalie in my office creating that account right now so we can get working on this. But I know we wanted to open it up for discussion to make, the court aware of what our intentions are with this particular program.
Just to add on to that, obviously the MOU was drafted differently, and we're going to have to redraft that MOU as well, so.
But the MOU doesn't have to be done by the 25th, right, Laura?
No.
Okay, so you're okay to
We're
bring
okay.
that back?
We can ratify the application.
We're asking to get it supported today. This is, Judge, this is free resources from the U.S. military. This IRT was created under President Clinton, and it has been executed under every president since then, including President Trump all the way, these last 4 presidents. So they're putting resources in the United States rather than training their personnel overseas, where it may be considered a little bit more dangerous in some of the hot spots. We get something out of it basically for free, really no cost to us. They get their training out of it, and it's just a matter of matching up the units, their specialty, their training needs with what we have, and we partner that together. But right now, they couldn't guarantee, and Edward, you may want to join us on this, but the fairgrounds, like Maria was saying, that's the foot in the door.
Yeah.
And so once our foot is in the door, we're going to get the rest of the body in there, because there's a lot more services that they can offer in the rest of the precincts, in the colonias, especially in the colonias, and then also even medical units that would come in and provide free services for our residents. No questions asked. They just want to provide health care, and it doesn't cost us.
And there's 3 areas that Maria mentioned. Those 3 areas is engineering, and then it's also medical, and civil affairs. And all this has to do through A&M University at College Station, or they're the in-between people between us and the Corps of Engineers. Instead of Corps of Engineers going somewhere to a war zone where they get shot and everything else, they started doing the training at the counties, especially the colonia areas. That's what it's geared for. But I think it's going to be a win-win situation for every single precinct in our county, because we're going to be working, and it's going to benefit everybody. Hopefully, right, and the parking lot, the fairgrounds, there's no way we'll be able to do the whole parking lot, but they would come in and they would do the parking lot. We buy material, they do all the labor, and the labor usually costs the most. So this is one thing, this is the first project they would do, is part of that is the parking lot at the fairgrounds. And the second would be do an assessment of the colonia areas as to what we have out there, how many colonias we have, what's the need of every the colonias, and everything else. Then the medical, which I think this is one that I've been pursuing for 2 years now, and it's on the works, and hopefully it's a clinic, it's a mobile clinic that they were willing to give us. It's on wheels, and it's already finished. It's got a clinic in there. It's got medical room. It's complete. electrical, everything, and so, and it's right now, the A&M is processing that through their legal department to see how they can be donated. And the reason I think they'll go through, because they have 7 to donate. So we're on the list of 1, for sure, that will help all the colonias and all the rural areas countywide to mobilize those services. In the health department, I met with the health department, and Ms. Rodriguez said, man, that's a dream we've been dreaming about for a long time. So, and said, when do we start? I said, no, not yet, I'm just letting you know. So, and then the other one is the A&M University. They've got to make sure that we have partners with the universities that provide the medical on internships. So it's going to, in dental and whatever else, so it's going to be something that really, in Nueces County, probably is going to be on the map for doing some of this.
And
But-
if you want to see what this work in action, you can research Webb County or Hidalgo County down in the valley, and they have already been going through this process. And so they're almost kind of complete, so that's why they're looking to move on to another county. And so we really thank our partners at the Texas A&M University Colonias program for connecting us and being that middleman and getting us into this. And we hope if this passes, then we can move forward, and then this is planning for year 2020, so we won't see anything happen until next summer. But then all of the rest of the work, the MOUs and everything else will lead us up into, could be a multiple year plan, consecutive plan. And so once we're at their destination, they'll be coming back for year after year, so.
They'll also do roads too, so.
Yeah, the roads
in
and
the areas.
drainage.
The only thing I would add to that is that we would house them. We're looking at the fairgrounds. I've talked to Jason, commissioners, as y'all are aware, they've got some capacity over there. The major was very good with us. He has a captain. They're coming to the area, so they're getting up to speed. And when we did our tour, they actually got a chance to see the fairgrounds in action, and they really were impressed with the livestock show. So they really enjoyed that portion of it. And the major told me, he says, if I'm a recruiting guy, he said, I'd come to this stock show because all those projects from those kids showed an innovation. They were very innovative. So he really appreciated the area. So the commissioners did.
Yeah, and I just want to recognize that's Major Benjamin Tomlinson from the 5th Army, and he's ops director. And I did have a chance to meet him, and that's all because Commissioner Modis had the Nueces County Colonia Coalition meeting, and that's, so it takes us all, right? We all have our roles to play. Commissioner Gonzalez has been leading the charge for so many moons. I don't know, general status is given, but the bottom line here, and I'm so happy, I don't know if this is why you're here, Joe Guzman, but I'm just overjoyed that you are, because you can see that this is a program that we need to add to our South Texas Military Task Force list to go over there and personally thank him. I'll go ahead and raise my hand and say I'll volunteer when we go to Washington. Joe Guzman, for the record, is the executive director of the South Texas Military Task Force. You'll recall earlier today, Joe, we approved $40,000 to the organization for the good work that they're doing. I know. I hope you brief me on that. But what I want everyone to know is that it's irt.defense.gov to look at all of, for Commissioner for the ones that have not really had a chance to dig deep here, irt.defense.gov, then you can see the entire IRT program. I'm over the moon about this. When we do State of the County, I plan to make this front and center. I'm really excited, but in order to really get it done, I need a motion and a second.
So I would ask for a motion to table, only because the
Why?
MOU, the final MOU is probably about at least a month to being complete.
Well, okay, but table is always a terrible word. How about this? How about if we refine the motion to bring back the final executed document? I always prefer that. When you say table to an audience, what that means is that's dead, okay? I'm telling you the way it gets interpreted. We want to make sure that we're sending the right message out to the public. I'd love for someone to make a motion. Okay. and second. This is too important.
You know, one good thing is those people from A&M, College Station, Mr. Munoz, Mr. Guzet, they make a colonial meetings, you know, and they come
Yes, they
from
do.
College Station.
And Judge, you mentioned, collaboration. We
Yeah.
would not, honestly, this is the kind of communication that we need,
Mhm.
because we would not have known, when I did
Yeah.
talk to A&M, their Colonias program, I said, okay, is this, when the county attorney's office started vetting some questions through our office, I'm like, well, can counties apply? Yeah, counties can apply, but it's just not something that's kind of out there that we get, an RFA for, that we normally hear about. So this is perfect.
It's
This is
great. And I want to
great
emphasize that the fairgrounds, again, thinking outside the box, it's an emergency staging area. We were able to repair, or we're going to be able to repair the parking lot as a result of the duality of what that asset does for us. It's just so important. I wish more people were listening in, because it's just that critical. So anyway, Kara,
What's
just,
the application, though?
Just need a
We have
vote.
to wait on
So
the
we
application?
will.
you got it.
Yeah, we'll
Thank
bring
you.
back the memorandum of understanding once it's approved by our legal and Texas A&M's legal, and then on the next agenda, you will see a ratification of that application, if that's
Yeah.
the direction the court wants
So
to.
we're not going to sign off on anything then?
Nothing today.
Before the 25th?
We can. The application will be done online, so technically, there isn't anything that I can present to you, to physically sign, but we can, we can.
You'll do that, Maria.
Yeah, we'll have
You'll do that. You'll do that. And go ahead and get a copy to the file in our
definitely.
judge's office, so that we know that we can open a file on that. So, Kara, let's go back to you, the vote now. Please signify by saying aye. The motion is to, kind of funny, but to return the executed MOU.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. What a great way to end your particular presentation. Thank you. I'm really trying hard to get us out here by noon, guys. We've got Public Works. These are some of the important ones. I know, take a breath if y'all need it. Juan, thank you for starting us off here on the number one on the,
Public Works is recommending approval of the release of the septic system bond for the Plains Unit subdivision as per their construction contract agreement. The developer has met all the requirements and has submitted all the paperwork for their septic systems. So we're recommending approval to release the bond.
So moved.
do you have a second?
Second.
And all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Me and you.
Motion carries with 3.
On the next one, Judge and Commissioners, we're requesting to replace 5 of the 9 condenser units for the Information Technology Data Center. These units are 7.5-ton units. They're over 7.5 years old. They've pretty much gone through a lot of the environment since they're on the 5th floor of our roof system. So 2 of them, we already spent 2 or 3 of them or more. We spent quite a bit of money to do some work on them and to do some maintenance. So we are recommending 5 units to be replaced out of the 9. This is just a request for replacement. We will come back in the next Commissioners Court, probably with some, with an actual proposal or cost from a contractor.
Do we have money?
We have, the way I understand it, we probably have some CO monies available that are part of Public Works. Am I correct in saying that, Dale?
Well, we'll have to make sure where we'll find the funds to do that. Once we look at the balances to see how it best coordinate that, then we'll have to work with the court and determine whether that's allowable
Okay.
fund movement, yes.
And the only reason we're requesting that, Judge and Commissioners, is because I know right now we're in the cool or winter time, but once we get into the April, May, we might start having some issues, so it's better to kind of start working on those if we can at this time.
What do you think our turnaround is in getting something back to the court? You want to,
Well, if monies are available and we do plan possibly going through the buy board to get some proposals through the buy board, I think we can probably either get it on the next Commissioners Court agenda, if possible, if not till the following.
Yeah. And I know, I don't see Daryl here, but I know that these fans are very essential to the operations of the servers. I'm sure he's listening in, so if he wants to run in here and tell us how important it is. But I know because I've met with him. But Dale, I guess really the ball's going to be in your court to kind of get back to us.
Well, Well, no, we have several, when I get my points come, we have several budget change orders coming up for capital projects, and once those, if those are approved, and then we can meet with Mr. Pimentel and
Got it.
you all, of course, determine what funding sources are still there to be able to see how we can move the funds, and then see if it's something that really can be done based on whatever funding source we use, whether it is CO funds, was it one part of the CO that was, how it was written, to make sure we can use it for
So
that.
let's work on this discussion after the change orders,
Yes.
because it'll have an impact.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So Juan, at this point, let me look at this, the way it's worded. Discuss and consider approval to replace. I guess, Commissioners, all we're looking for is a motion to instruct Juan to move forward with, okay, in a second. And all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you, Juan.
Judge, can
Yes?
we,
You need something?
can we come back and reopen our last motion dealing with that agreement
The septic?
with the military? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, on grants?
Yeah, on grants.
Tell me what you need.
So what we need, I think what may be the best thing, if the county attorney can assist us, we had discussed about just authorizing you to sign off on the agreement once it's been approved. So then we don't have to worry about coming back at a later date during a commissioners court meeting for us to finalize. We're kind of giving that approval
idea.
here.
I
And
think,
once it's been authorized and finally approved, because we know it's got to do
The
some back
agenda
and
is
forth.
execution of the agreement.
So it's the agreement itself,
which we don't have.
so it's got to be that.
And we can't amend the agenda, right? Even if it's a,
Not for that, but it'll be a ratification.
It'll just be a ratification. Okay, all right,
so you're okay?
okay.
You can sign off on it and we'll bring it back.
I just want to make sure we get this as quickly as possible, because
I
them
agree.
getting to us has been way behind schedule. This all should have been completed in September, and we just got this last week.
Yeah.
So-
And since you opened it up, Maria, I don't know if you know Mr. Guzman, but it would be a good idea to meet each other and pass each other cards, because this is a program that we need to, when we go to Washington, we wind up getting more, because we actually are one of the few communities to go and say thank you. And that's part of our job and our mission, and the Army is Joe's specialty. Former, okay? Yeah, so he's a good person to know. Okay. I was going to tell you later, but since they opened the can of beans there, come on in. Dale?
First item, Your Honor, is
Thank you.
a presentation of our November 18th monthly expense report.
Okay,
We don't have the finance report yet because we're still working on our year-end balances, so this is just expenses for the period. Page one kind of shows you a comparison of last year to this year for November on expenses. And yes, we are up 1.8 million in cost, but we know we had a cost of living increase as well as some continuous pay, and also the collective bargaining agreement was there. So that's where you see the largest increase in balances cost for that. On page two, you'll see a pie chart showing how the expenses are paid for. You'll see our law enforcement is 35% of the expenses, and our administration of justice is 25%. So 60% of our expenses are for law enforcement and the courts. What we have now is your expense reports for each of the funds. Now, there was a slight little problem in our software, so you'll see that there's some red, yellow, and black. Don't pay attention to those colors right now, because for some reason it's looking at wrong values. The only thing you should really look for is anything below 83%.
anything below 80?
83%, because that's how much would be remaining for the fiscal year. For some reason, because if you'll look at several of them,
I see one, the 58.6?
yes, and that's how you'll need to look at that, because some of them had read on a 90%, and so there was a little problem on that, and then so I'm working with my staff to get that little software, little bug taken care of, and that shouldn't be a problem. But anything that you see that is below 83% is below what we expect the budget to be as of this period of time. Now, going to page 7, you'll see that for the general government, which includes most of the Commissioners Court, my staff, county purchasing, and all the small items before, we're well above where we need to be. We're 97% of the remaining budget, so we're well below where the thresholds are. On page 10, you'll see our building facilities. Their total building facilities is 90% remaining for the budget, so they're doing very, very well. Our administration of justice, as we talked about, is on page 17. They're at 86.2%, so they're getting closer to the 83%, but they're, as again, these are all of our courts and stuff, and a lot of the expenses related to doing the court administration. Our sheriff's office is on, and other law enforcement's on page 20. They're at 86% total for all law enforcement facilities, so they're still above the budget threshold. As we go to the rest of them, I didn't see any that caused the total county for it to be anywhere out. And right now, for this particular year, as of this point in time, we're at 87.7%. So we're well above where we need to be on threshold. We gone through the rest of the departments and the rest of the funds, our road and bridge and other projects to make sure, and none of them have a problem. The remaining of this book covers our P-card purchases, and that starts on page 34. Page 34 showed you for the month of November, we had $299,726 worth of expenses that went through our purchasing card. And this just breaks it down for how the P-card was used and what particular expenses they were for. And at the very back, it shows you a year-to-date showing you who the number one vendors were using for. And as it has been usually in the past, those are usually our utility companies or our big contracts for like RICO and other contracts. I provided this for you. I know it's very lengthy. I went through it very quickly, but I'd be glad to answer any question you might have on the expense report for November.
Commissioners?
I saw one at the top that was like 30-something%, but it was way up at the top. You were going so fast.
Sorry.
But what do you do when that happens?
Well, a lot of these require budget change orders. So there are budget change orders that we have currently and that have been posted in December, and those budget change orders take those into consideration. So we've already fixed some of the costs that's here. These are just warning us that we need to work with the department to see whether budget change orders needed, or now some of them are that way because it's like for example, our legal aid, they pay rent one time a year. So it'll show a big, large negative because we instead of doing for all 12 months, it's one time a year, and that could happen in some of these departments where they get hit one time at the very beginning of the year, and it goes out to the department. So it looks negative, but that's what we need to know for.
Okay.
But my staff has been constantly working with the departments and working with this, and I know my staff, Lisa, likes to yell at them a lot of times to make sure they get their budget rights and budget change orders, and sometimes they don't like hearing from us.
Sure not.
And I know the software is kind of doing those funky things with you on the color code.
Yes.
But actually it made me think that it might be great, instead of asking the question, of course, your report's going to tell us that we're doing okay, but it might be helpful when we do our next month's report just to use the color coding to show us where we're not okay, right? And it's sometimes deceiving, right, when you get a negative 254%, but it's really a budget of 1,800, and then you go to 2,400, and of course, it looks scary when you see negative 254, but what we should do, Dale, is just flag the oddities, and that way we could address the crazy ones here.
And that was the purpose of what the color coding was for.
It just didn't work.
White means it's no problem. Yellow means it's precautionary. It was between 87 to 84%. And then anything below 83 is red, showing you that's where we need to concern ourselves with.
Gotcha.
But this is using the old software we had, so it's looking at multiple variables on how to calculate that instead of one variable, and sometimes it looks at the wrong variable. And we're getting it fixed.
No problem. That sounds good. But again, you've shown us that overall.
Overall, we're doing very well for the tight budget we have this year. We're doing very well right now.
Okay. Questions for Dale, commissioners, on this particular monthly expense report? And if not, is this something that we typically get an approval? Yes? So if there are no more.
It's just a received presentation. You really don't require a vote.
Yeah, we're not required. So if there are any more questions, if not, we could move on. But if there are, please feel free. Okay?
The next budget, the next item is the capital project change order number 72. My staff has worked with several other departments, including Teresa and Tyler and their staff, as well as Public Works and other departments, to find out where the funds are, if their project's closed, we need to close their projects, and there are several of here. And we're reallocating the funds back to projects that need funds, or we're moving money back to unallocated funds. And if they were associated to a particular commissioner or the judge, they are being moved back to those particular unallocated funds for the commissioner or the judge. The very beginning of it's 1901. These are normally these are general fund funded sources. As you see, we have now the funds available for the 4-yard building. We have the funds available for the jail park gate and fence that we have. And we also have a domestic hot water heater that we need to have for the courthouse and jail that are new projects we're adding. And we're just moving the funds around that we know that the project either closed or the funds are no longer needed for that particular project to move the funds. 1915 is one of our 2004 COs. 1917 is our 2007, and 1919 is 2015, and 1921. There's a lot of projects on here. We're trying to make sure we get the funds where they need to be to cover negative balances that were because of change orders and other balances. The funds, after working with several people, we make sure we went through this as close as possible, and as you make sure you're very well aware, all these balances have a zero effect. So whatever we're adding, we're taking away from another project and making sure the right allocation is there. I submit this project change order number 72 for your approval, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have.
What's that Hilltop Park enhancement negative?
That was the Hilltop Park was what we talked with Edward, and we talked to other ones, and as well as Tyner and his staff, and that project's been considered closed and completed. So that was funds that was remaining, and we were able to move those back to your precincts.
Want to make sure that's
Yes.
where they are?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And on page 2 of capital budget order 72, item 1917-1000 is Heritage Center Phase 2. What is that?
Yeah, there was we were budgeting zero, even dollar amounts, and there was a small percentage, so we want to get these all closed, so we just moved the cents that are left, and from now on, our change orders will make sure they're even amounts, so this don't have to be any continuation for it, so it had 50 cents left.
50 cents. What was that, though, Heritage Center? Where is that located, or?
I'm not sure where it was located. 1917-1000 is a building facility, so
That may have been the big facility at the fairgrounds, which was going to be the major convention center type.
That front parking lot right there in that big empty field, that's where it would have been.
So we had a line item for it, we had money designated, but we never.
Correct. Money was changed and moved to, I think it was IT stuff, if I remember correctly, some IT.
There was a number of fairgrounds projects. I remember Betty Jean Longoria was involved in. So what happened, the court decided not to spend money on the big Heritage Center, and they divvied up the money to do some fairgrounds projects, including fencing.
There's fencing in the back area that was built, new storage facility.
The maintenance building on the back right corner was built.
$7 million that was moved, but the money was moved throughout the county.
Okay.
And there is also
I'd heard of that arena or that whatever it was designated or expected to be. I just never knew that we had a line item with money there. And we collectively, as this court in previous
Yeah, it was
previous
7 million. It needed another 15. I got the whole rundown actually at the stock show this past weekend. Otherwise, I would not have known either. But, most fairgrounds have one major facility. That's where you have your concerts, your big rodeos. We're unique. We do not have that. And that's what Heritage Center was.
all that money was put other places.
And just a quick note on page 2, you'll see that I guess we were well ahead of it at the time because we have the IT data center for the condenser unit we just passed. We've already set up $78,000 for it to be funding, so no additional funding requirements are necessary. You have the funds available for it.
Yeah, and I just want the commissioners to know I had the opportunity to go over line by line with Teresa and Dale, and I really do appreciate that. So that's why I'm more comfortable and not asking questions. I've already had the luxury of going over the reallocations. But are there any other questions? Because there are quite a few here.
What about that County Road 69 drainage? 1921.
Tell us what page, Commissioner Vaughn?
Well,
Page 3,
stop,
page
stop,
3.
you were there.
Phase 3, 1921, 4003 County Road Drainage Improvement Program, minus 27,336. I believe we spoke with someone and we're moving that money back up to your unallocated funds for you to use it however you see fit. But what we've been told that project was theoretically complete, so we're moving the money back to where you can use it for unallocated funds.
That's good, okay.
You'll see the one right above it is the 27 equals that same amount.
It might be good to get confirmation, I mean, it sounds good that's moved and you're unallocated, but would be good to just get a back.
Oh, I'm gonna look.
Yeah, okay, just double checking.
She's on top of it.
With Juan.
I will.
Okay. I don't know, I think it's worth mentioning the NeoGov, Dale, I think it's interesting. You want to just, it's a big item, but it's a,
NeoGov was that software project that y'all approved for HR, which is a new version of our applicant online, so we can use that for having people to log in and put in their application for any job postings that are available. And this also allows us to go to a government job bank that goes out to nationwide, so anybody in the nation that's looking for employment here can have that. Before that, it wasn't as easy to get that notices out. Now this is part of the deal.
yeah, we think this is part of modernization and being a smart county and appealing to a new generation. And so in order to attract talent, we really need to get our information to a wider net. So it's a
Correct.
very important software. Okay, anything else? Since
That's all for change order 72.
okay, I guess I'm going to need a motion, please, for this
So
change.
moved.
And second by Ms. Swan. And all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay,
The last one is budget change order number 7 for our current fiscal year. There are several departments on here. Most of them are very small in nature. Page 2 is the largest one that you'll see overtime for our juvenile detention as well as our post-adjudication juvenile justice center, just to meet the requirements that's needed to cover the balances that are there. The biggest one is in our juvenile detention. They had a few vacancies, and they were required to cover those with salary overtime. This is something we approved for the last Commissioners Court, during our budget time, excuse me. We've gone over this with my staff, and the funds are available for these particular movements, and we submit this for your consideration and approval, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call for any discussion. Now the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, aye on that one. Opposed, same sign.
Judge, before we go into a closed session,
Yes.
there's item number 4, which has to do with the auditing engagement letter with Patillo, Brown, and Hill LLP.
Yes, would you like to move that up?
And there are some representatives here to speak to the court with regards to that.
Yes. Laura, would you like to set the stage for them and then invite them? And you have been most patient. Really do appreciate. Okay. Why don't you set the stage for the commissioners?
Yes, the county bid out auditing services a while back, and Patillo, Brown, and Hill was awarded the contract, LLP. And part of the partner involved in this organization, who is Mr. Carlos Casco's office out of Brownsville, was going to be doing the work. Since then, we did receive a letter from Cascos, the attorney Cascos, he is an attorney, I think in a CPA as well. Carlos Cascos saying that he's no longer a partner of Patillo, Brown, and Hill, and he wanted to do the auditing services. Unfortunately, because the county has a contract with Patillo, Brown, and Hill, not Carlos Cascos, we're here wondering whether or not Patillo, Brown, and Hill will be able to continue with that contract and that auditing. They certainly can contract or subcontract with, not subcontract, but contract with Carlos Cascos to perform it, but we can't give them a check. Our check will go directly to the organization that actually got the award, which is Patillo, Brown, and Hill. We do have two representatives from the firm that are here to hopefully tell us whether or not that they can go forward on the contract with Nueces County or not.
And let me also just add to that, and you can echo it, is that it's my understanding by being an observer for the court prior to me taking office, that this court decided to change auditors because it's best practices. That this is something that's very good to do, to put a new, fresh set of eyes after 5, 6 years of being with one auditor. Does not show any reflection on any past auditors at all, and this is just something that's GASB and everybody sort of recognizes is a good thing. As a result of that change, Patillo came in, Brown and Helen came in, and they were the successful contract awardee. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so now with that background, if you don't mind, why don't you come and introduce yourself and tell us if you are prepared to perform on that contract? Because that is the question of the day. And welcome.
Thank you so much for letting us come here this morning and talk to you about our firm and answering some of the questions that a lot of you might have. But I'm Paula Lau. I'm a partner at Patillo, Brown and Hill, and this is John Manning, and he's a partner at our firm as well. And I think the question of the day is, can Patillo, Brown and Hill fulfill this contract? And that answer is yes. Our firm can provide professional auditing services for this particular county. And I know Carlos is, as of a particular date, February 4th of this year, he is no longer a partner with our firm, but it's just a decision that both groups have made just to part ways. But we definitely are working hand in hand to make this transition for everyone as smooth as possible.
Okay, one of the questions that came up, so maybe you could help clarify, is where you're located. I know you have different offices throughout the state. Tell us which office would be handling our account.
Yeah, definitely. John and I both work out of our Waco office.
Okay.
And that's the office that we intend to provide services from for this particular engagement.
Okay.
And just to clarify, we've done over 50 counties throughout the state of Texas. So the fact, I don't want y'all to worry to think that because we're from Waco and it's, a 4-hour drive, that there's no way we can get this done. We do this all the time. We have Tom Green County, which is in Texarkana. We used to do Cameron County before we had a Brownsville office. So we've built this into the model. We know that we need the travel, and it's not going to be a problem. And we also know that the contract involves 3 separate reports: the county's CAFR, the adult probation financial statements, and the juvenile probation statements. And all 3 of those we are experts in. We're currently working on between 30 and 40 adult and juvenile probation reports right now. We have a process. We're very familiar with that, and there's nothing in looking at the RFP and in talking to Dale and looking at the CAFR, there's nothing in here that we think would have to preclude us from being able to provide service to Nueces County.
I do want to make a clarification. They don't have to enter into a contract with Carlos Cascos to perform the services, but they have to let us know who it is that's going to be performing, and obviously they said the Waco office.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we need a particular, when you're ready, will you let us know exactly who our point of contact is?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, because I'm sure there's a lead, correct? There's someone that's lead on our county.
And we just kind of found out about this late last week.
Right.
So we're looking at our schedule. It's kind of late in the game, so
Yeah.
we're just trying to look at the schedule and trying to look at which partner will be able to provide
Right.
the best level of a service to the county. And we should have,
Right.
we'll have that answer very soon.
And this isn't meant as anything but just it's not meant to be a scolding. It's just meant to be a little bit of understanding how we got here and why you had to come from Waco here, is that there was a disconnect in communication, and I would encourage that never happen again, because it wastes your time, to have to come down here. And we're satisfied through the RFP process that you were the successful, auditing company. It sounds like you, based on what I've read, as you suggested, you've done 50 counties, including the auditor that just gave me my training, Tom Green County auditor out of the LBJ school just last week. So, this court obviously made a strong decision All I'm asking is that, we rely on our auditor to really keep us informed. If there's one lesson I've learned in the last 3 weeks is that success is built on communication. And so we just would urge that, that you stay in communication. We would like to know who our lead is. We do have, I know you know this, the timetables that are important. In fact, that's what necessitated you all coming. And like I said, not meant to be, it's just, I want you to know so you can take it back home, that that's why we all kind of had to do this little scramble. But I'm glad to see you. I'm glad that Batilla, Brown, and Hill can fulfill the contract. And we would just ask that you get us the lead person as efficiently as possible so that Dale could begin his process. Dale, is that a fair assessment?
Yes, Your Honor. As we mentioned to them, we provide and we prepare the financial statements for our adult probation as well as our own, and our juvenile probation provides their own report. So all we would need from them is to do their testing and then provide us the audit letters. So that's the only
Awesome.
requirements that we need to do. Yes.
So the
There is a
contract,
deadline, right?
Yes, there is a February 28th deadline for
Oh,
both
February
juvenile
28th.
and adult.
Not a
probation.
problem? Thank you.
Because the county prepares both of their financial statements. We
Great.
do the testing, and the financial statements are essentially already done. So once we're done with our testing and can render an opinion, we put those opinion letters, send them to the county, and those reports are ready to go.
Okay, I got a question. So you're gonna contract with somebody local or somebody from Waco? I mean, the thing is, the contract, does it include travel and everything else? Yeah?
It is.
So there's no additional cost because you're coming from Waco and now you're gonna have contract with somebody else?
No.
So everything stays the same and everything's included in that package?
That's correct. Everything stays the same. I mean, as John mentioned, we're very familiar with, doing audits across the state of Texas for multiple counties. And we have to travel to a majority of the ones that we do. So we have one going on right now. It's actually just Galveston County. But so we're very
Great.
familiar with, how the process works. And, think that we'll provide you a great service, just as you expected when you initially awarded the project to us.
And just to remind the court, when we initially awarded, the contract was never local. It was out of Brownsville. Now it's out of Waco. Just to throw it in.
In the middle of?
Okay, Michael, would you like to address the court?
I just wanted to clarify, are we going to have to update the engagement letters due to the person's name that was signed on it? He was a member of the company when we engaged into those letters.
What we would probably be best for us if we get something in writing from you as to who's going to be the lead.
We can definitely do that, and we can switch out the
that's
engagement
all.
letters too, if that's what you guys would like as well.
I think that's good for the file. I'm a lawyer. I like that. Yeah.
Well, the engagement letter did say Batilla, Brown, and Hill, but it was signed by Costco's, but it's still.
Just for clarity.
Yeah.
That's not a problem at all.
That sounds good. Are there any other questions, discussions? This was brought for you, commissioners, by county attorney because we needed to make sure we had resolution. Do we need any action, Lauda? I don't believe so,
No.
the way it's written.
Do we need to go into executive session since we
Not
pretty
for
much
that
discussed
item.
Not for that item. Okay. We thank you for the time, the travel, and the work that you're going to do for us. I particularly love audits. They tell a story. It's always fascinating to look. We hope that we are, just as shiny as we can be. So, thank you.
And we appreciate the time of getting y'all to let us come up and get to meet y'all instead of just
Yeah.
saying, let's do something different. Let's explore what we already have, and
Right.
we appreciate that time.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Baylor, Waco.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Okay, now, we can take that off our, sorry, guys. So now I've got to read the magic words here. In accordance with the authority of the Government Code, Vernon's Texas Code, Sections 551.071, 072, 073, 074, 0745, 076, 086, and 087, the Commissioners Court will hold an executive session to consult with attorneys, including matters related to litigation, deliberate regarding real property, prospective gifts, personal matters, including termination, county advisory bodies, security devices, and/or economic development negotiations, and other matters that may be discussed in an executive session. Upon completion of the executive session, the Commissioners Court may, in an open session, take such as appropriate action on items as discussed in the executive session. Shh. Okay,
That wasn't for you, Judge, that was for those.
that's all right. I hear that a lot. so-
No, those were the other people, not you,
Okay.
Judge.
I believe that's the termination of that clause. So we will now, I will turn all mics off. I'm learning here. And we're coming back in, Ms. Sands, at 1:04 PM. We're resuming, and we have one action to take, and I'd like to have a motion on that. Let me go to the number. It is letter A, regarding a settlement demand. Do I have a motion regarding that matter? And the motion is to deny the claim. And, okay, and I need a motion and a second there. Okay, however you want to fix it. And all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The rest of the matters do not require court action. And I am so sorry, I guess there's nobody left here to talk about this, but 6A, I have Nueces County Emergency Service District Number 3. Tyner, can you help me out there on those board appointments?
Yes, we had a vacancy in the past with no applicants, but we do have a vacant position now, and we have an applicant, Thaddeus Mittman, and I believe this is Commissioner Matas's precinct,
District?
district.
Yeah, I have most of three.
Do you know the applicant?
No, I had some questions on residency, but that was cleared up. I actually,
The applicant is not in the courtroom, correct? No, I think, was he here earlier? Okay. I was thinking it was rude of us not to put it up there earlier.
I don't think anybody was here, Judge.
Okay, Commissioner Matas, I'm going to defer to you, please, on this.
sure, no, I mean, we have one applicant, and so we're happy to have him show interest and then make a motion for Mr. Mittman to join the ESD number 3.
Second?
Second, and any discussion? The only discussion I'd have is I think it would be good since these applicants, and I just say this for all boards and commissions, they ought to write us letters, they ought to contact our office, they ought to come in. We ought to be able to vet somebody. These are very important boards and commissions, and I just think we ought to do a little bit of more due diligence. I'm sure he's wonderful, and I thank him for his service.
I think there's an opportunity to maybe change the appointment letter that we send out on your behalf.
Yeah.
Maybe a paragraph at the end that you're highly encouraged to keep the Commissioners Court informed.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Yeah, just a face-to-face, so that you know, hey, I know this is the guy I'm appointing to be at this very important emergency service department. Okay, so having no other information, but relying on good faith, and we will do our due diligence, I guess. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, at this time, we're going to, a motion for adjournment in memory. I don't remember, do we do adjournment and then the memory?
No.
We'll do the memory first.
Memory
Okay,
first,
in memory first. So if you will start, Commissioner Chesney.
Thank you, Judge. I just have one day. Ronald Maples, passed away on January 8, 2019. For those of you who are old like me, you would remember that Ron was employed by Southwestern Bell Telephone and was the regional manager here until about 1991, and then was very active in the community after that. And certainly want to pass on condolences to his family, Ron Maples.
Commissioner.
Yeah, I have two. First will be Cayetana Martinez, passed away on January 17th, 2019. She's a longtime resident of the Molina area, and my condolences and prayers go out to the family, and I know she will be missed by the entire community, always very much involved in the political arena. Also, a very dear friend of mine, he was my lieutenant in the police department, Lieutenant Albert Perez, passed away on January 15th, 2019. And my condolences and prayers go out to the Perez family. And I know he will be very well missed, especially by his son Albert. So my condolences and prayers to the family. Okay.
Judge, I'd like to add to
Please.
Albert also. Albert Bettis know his son, worked with his son for 15 years now. And so Mr. Bettis was just a former CCPD officer. You would see his pictures along the wall there at their shop over on Horn Road near the Gabe Lozano Golf Course. And of course, they own property as well in his retirement, so they kept up with that. And so they were also very active in political campaigns throughout the county. So, yeah, my condolences to Albert and his family, his wife and his children, and of course the entire Bettis family on the passing of Mr. Bettis.
Well, I don't have any locals, but I do want to say that on the occasion of what would have been Martin Luther King's 90th birthday, it made me feel really terrible today to hear Reverend Carrington come and say that this county did not honor Martin Luther King. I'm going to be honest with you, nothing really pulls me like when my heart and soul move. Like, I did not recognize that. I went to the celebration, I went to the march, I went to the 100th anniversary of the NAACP, and I felt proud. I felt proud because this county had recognized this icon of a man, and he's right, I am sitting in this chair because of him and what he stood for. And so my memory goes out to Dr. King, and I hope we can rectify that. I understand why it was put together, but this is a federal national holiday, and I told the whole world on the weekend that we were closed to honor his memory, and that wasn't true, not really, and it made me feel really bad today. So today, my memory is for Dr. Martin Luther King.
Judge, if I could-
Yeah.
My office, and I agree with you, in our office, county clerk's office,
Yeah.
we've always closed in honor of Martin Luther King.
I thought we were doing it.
We had signs up, so you may have seen our
So
sign.
glad.
And we've have it on Twitter, but we've never said civil holiday.
Well,
We made it a point, so we come
Okay.
against.
Maybe we all let's roundtable together, elected officials and governmental experts, and let's figure this out. But anyway,
Judge, it's just, I think you just have to make a decision to change it.
yeah.
It was a decision made many, many, many years ago
2005, by the way.
that to honor all civil rights leaders, and it just needs to be
Yeah.
put on the agenda.
And I
Change.
mean,
No, no.
obviously, I'm sensitive. I mean, Dr. Hector is my uncle, raised my dad.
I
I
just
mean,
think you
but that's not, he has a state day. This is a federal holiday. We all ought to be unified on this, so.
It's why my offices were closed.
Yeah,
It's why,
I was like,
Those are holidays, so
I was, like I said, I had to because I know I'm on camera now, but when he said it, I felt like my face froze. I was so shocked, and I don't like to be surprised.
Yeah, so that we don't get in trouble for discussing, but if you just want to put that on the agenda, then I don't think there's going to be a lot of resistance.
Okay, sounds good. Anyway, with that, do I have a motion to, those were beautiful memories, by the way, to some great citizens that we've lost here in Nueces County. So my prayers also are with those families. Do I have a motion for adjournment? And second. And we are officially adjourned at 1:12 p.m. Long meeting, but very substantive. Thank you, everybody. Mics are off. Well.
Just stand and do a moment of silence before we.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, a little protocol. After the adjournment, we do a moment of silence for those that we have just,
And then you can hit the gavel.
and then I get the gavel. Okay. So if I could call for a moment of silence, we'll do, a 60-second? Okay, well, just 20-second moment of silence. And we're adjourned.